And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the Coldplay's Kiss Cam. What's going on with that? I didn't really want to address the Coldplay Kiss Cam, but it went so viral. I couldn't escape it. They put it on television. They put it on every kind of meme you can imagine. AI had a field day with it. It was crazy. But I got to give the reality behind the situation and why you, especially as a man, should not do what they did. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Stephen Colbert has been canceled. Well, he will be canceled in May of 2026. Not just him, but the entire show. And I think it's a long time coming. You got Pocahontas, Cory Booker, and all the rest of them talking about, oh, this is an attack on democracy and freedom of speech and political comedy. No, what it is a show that costs a whole bunch of money to produce that did not yield enough money back. As simple as dollars and cents. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the media are hilarious, focusing on Trump's ankles. Yes, his ankles, zooming in on his ankles. Pictures are going viral. Meanwhile, Joe Biden will fall on the ground, both ankles in the air, and nobody says anything. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Barack and Big Mike back in the spotlight. Did they ever leave? How are they worth so much money? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, we got a whole lot going on. Yes, it did. It go viral. It's all over the place, that video of the Kiss Cam. But I didn't want to just make content, poking fun, haha. My whole thing was, okay, let's talk about what this actually is. This is somebody that put everything on the line because he wanted to go to a Coldplay concert with the HR lady. It's like, bro, everything on the line. And even if it didn't go viral, somebody could have seen him right there in the crowd. His colleagues at work, the board of directors, bro, you're the CEO. You got to put yourself at a higher level of behavior. It's just like Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, okay, I understand you still want to be fornicating like you 21 years old in the NFL. I get it. But you're not. You got responsibilities. You got staff. Your grandma depend on you. Your mama depend on you. Everybody depend on you. Here you are out here just doing whatever. White girls, young white girls. It's like, bro, come on, man. Let's use our brain for a minute. Okay, Mr. CEO executive, how about not bring the HR lady to a Coldplay concert? And then the craziest part is how he was like on the railing, hugged up, big smile. It's like, bro, y'all way too public. Y'all are way too public. If you want to do all that, then you need to just make that be known to your regular people in your life, like to your wife. Maybe she tells her husband. You can't just do stuff like that because, some people in this society still believe in the sanctity of marriage. I know it's the West. Don't nobody care. Everybody get divorced. But some of us take that very seriously. And if you're going to be an executive, your colleagues absolutely take that seriously. They most certainly do. So when you're doing stuff like that, it's an embarrassment. And when you want to do with other businesses, they're like, this guy out here with the HR lady, okay, a fool, a moron, and the employees allegedly say that you foster a bad work environment. So you're just not really an asset to the board of directors. Listen, people were talking about him being the CEO as if they thought he owned the company. A CEO is not necessarily the owner of the company. A CEO many times is an employee. Think about a corporation like the United States. We have a president that we can elect. In a corporation, they got a board of directors and they are going to find the best leader for the company to make them the most money. It's the same kind of way the country runs. But unlike a country, if you're making mistakes as a CEO, just one mistake, if the mistake is impactful enough on the company, they fire you immediately. It immediately gets you out of there. So as a man, if you have ascended to that height, you've become successful, and you behaving like that, you asking to have all that taken away. And the divorce settlement going to be crazy. Listen, Tony Busby, all these ambulance chasers going to be all the way, they're going to be in your pocket so much. Half of your money plus another maybe about 15-20% for the lawyers, because you got to pay your wife's lawyers and your own lawyers, depending upon where you live at, because you make so much money. Multi-millionaire, CEO of a billion-dollar company, a billion-dollar tech company. Oh my goodness, you about to get tore off completely. My. So when I make my video, I did like a little short, and if you didn't see it, catch it on Uncle ABL, the YouTube channel. Check it on Uncle ABL and my regular Instagram page on Instagram, Facebook, etc. My video was purely educational about, hey, this is what happens to you when you do stuff like this. So please don't do it. Please don't do it. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. I saw a lot of the memes. The memes are crazy. LJC says the story is a distraction. No one knew this company before this story. Isn't it a tech company? It's a tech company. I don't know. I feel like some people may be distracted by stories that come across their feed, it go viral, and they forget about everything else going on. But I don't think like that. I'm always thinking about everything at the same time. I'm thinking about this, that. I'm thinking about everything. I'm monitoring it all. I don't get distracted by one thing. I still know we did the attack on Iran I didn't like. I still know we got the Epstein story floating out there. And by the way, I think Trump is trying to have more things revealed. I got a question. Do you guys think that there will be more revealed that matters when it comes to the Epstein story, or is it over with? I think it's over with. I think they said it was over with, again, going back to when they put them binders out. Once they did that, listen, when I saw DC Drano on my TV with a binder, I'm like, all right, that's all we're going to get. And exactly, I was right. That's all we're going to get. Ain't no more. I think it's over with, but what do y'all think? Because Trump is talking about wanting to disclose more about the Epstein case. Do you think there will be anything that matters? Because what we want in this country, well, I ain't gonna say we, what some people want as it relates to the Epstein files is blood. Hey man, we got to get everybody on that list, send them to the Gulag, Big Rock, Little Rock, behead them, shoot them, that kind of thing. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you understand what I'm saying. We want, or some people want, those on the list to be held accountable. The problem is there a list? And if it is a list, then why hasn't it come out yet? How long has a list existed? There's been this rumor and specter of such a thing, but it's never come to fruition. And how many years has it been? Is it ever going to come to fruition? Like I said before, if they were able to day to jackal this dude, okay, some El Chapo type of inside the penitentiary, inside the prison cell, if they're able to hit him right there and we still don't have any evidence one way, if they're able to do that and get away with it so clean, then why would there be a paper trail? Why would there be a list that exists of people that he was blackmailing? Why would that actually exist? And then some people on the list, here's something else though. Here's something else. The list could exist, but just being mentioned on the list could ruin you, although you might not have done anything. Some on the list, if it exists, may have been engaging in criminal activity, but some on the list may have got caught up and they were exposed to something and they got blackmailed. Because the way that it worked, from my understanding, is that Epstein would try to entrap you and blackmail you in exchange for money. He was posing as this bigwig financial banking guy, but he was not. His revenue came from the blackmail, allegedly. That's what was said. So if he's able to do all that, would he keep a physical, like an Ashley Biden Dear Diary? Today, I blackmailed Donald J. Trump for $11 million on the island. It was great. P.S. I got Melania for $2 more million. Does that exist somewhere? Do y'all think that? I think not. I think not. But again, Trump has said that there's going to be more revealed from the Epstein case. Do you think there will be anything that matters, or is it just going to be more of the same? Listen, when them binders came out, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much all it's gonna be. That's all that it's gonna be. Okay. Steve Kerfuffle says, if you were hanging around people with a human trafficking ring, you did something. Not necessarily because I know plenty of my friends that's in prison or have done prison time. That don't mean that I was doing it. I mean, some of my best friends, 6 years, 10 years, 15. I know a guy that got 35 years in prison. 35 years. Bank robberies. Like he was a serial bank robber. I had no idea. And I was around him a few times. He wasn't my best friend, but I knew him. I was around him a few times. We did business together because he used to work for a club. I did some of their flyers. So I'll be over there with them doing that. But that don't mean that I was doing the other stuff. All I'm doing is delivering this big box of 4x6 flyers. I'm giving you 10,000 flyers. I'll go about my business. I'll talk to y'all, shake hands, whatever, and be on my way. 5-10 minutes. The next day I turn on the news. XYZ person get locked up 35 years for a serial bank robbing. I had no idea. That's what I'm talking about. Just because you're linked to someone in some kind of way does not mean you did something wrong. But normies automatically are going to think that you did. Just like Elon Musk when he said that Trump was in the files. Okay, Elon, that's fine. But what was he doing in the files? Was he on the island abusing kids? Or was he just at a party with Jeffrey Epstein and took pictures with him and Melania and Ghislaine Maxwell? Like, which one is it? And we're going to get to the story. Have you guys heard the story that Trump drew? Listen, Wall Street, we're going to get to it in a minute. Wall Street Journal said that Trump drew Jeffrey Epstein the birthday card with a naked woman. Like he drew a picture of a naked woman on a birthday card. Now, my question, before we even get to it, before we get started, my question is, how do you authenticate such a thing? How do you verify that? Like, okay, your Wall Street Journal, here's this handwritten, hand-drawn birthday card, and somebody says, yeah, this came from Trump. How are we validating this? Are we doing DNA tests? Like, what is going on here? Because check it out. I could just be right here in front of y'all and just pick up a sheet of paper and say, look, this right here, this was drawn by Al Capone in 1921. How can I actually prove that? What's the process to authenticate it? Anybody want to tell me that? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. And then you got Trump putting out statements talking about, I don't draw pictures. It's like, what in the world is happening with people in this world? I think we got quite a bit of people that are just not really, all the way sound upstairs. That's kind of what it is. Now they're getting sued. Oh yeah. Hey, the lawsuits work wonders. That's going to be the new way forward with a lot of this stuff is the lawsuits. He already got, what's that, like 12 million or something like this from CBS? How much did Trump get from CBS? Trump settlement for the Kamala Harris interview. I've never seen such a thing in my life. I've never seen a news outlet stage an interview with a presidential candidate. I've never seen that before, but it happened. So $16 million from CBS. And the funniest part is the politicians talking about, well, this is Trump trying to attack freedom of speech and the press, and anyone that doesn't like what he says, he wants to attack him. They're trying to blame him for Colbert show going off, but it's like they said Colbert was losing 40 to 50 million every year. 40 to 50 million Stephen Colbert show was losing every year. So what's 16 million in the context of 40 to 50 in losses? And I think the reason why they're canceling Colbert show, as I said before, is 2028 will be here before you know it. 2026, that's next year, that's midterms. So Trump's influence will start to wane as he gets close to the end of his term, because you can only have 2 terms as president. So they know in 2028, when they don't have Trump to use anymore for fuel for their audience, they're not going to have anything. So those losses of 40 to 50 million are going to increase. It might get into the 6-figure millions of losses. And at that point, what's the point of having the show on the air? It's not about politics. I don't care if it's a conservative show, a liberal show, non-political. if you are putting a product out, you spending X amount of money on it, and you make no money in profit, nowhere near profit, there's no pathway to profitability. Why are we doing the show? It doesn't make any sense. You got great ratings, I suppose, because you're behind Greg Gutfeld. You're like number 2 in ratings. Congratulations, but how much money are you spending to get those ratings compared to what Gutfeld is spending? It doesn't make any sense to be number 2 or even number 1 if you don't make any money. You could be popular, famous, and whatnot, but you, at the end of the day, have no revenue. So what's the purpose? I would tell him to go do a podcast to see how that works. But anyway, before I go any further, shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. AMG, he cannot run more than twice. He cannot do 2 terms at all. That's just because, you know, I'm seeing that floating around talking about, well, maybe because it wasn't consecutive. Nah. If Trump tried to run again, this country would completely, it ain't going to happen. You can only do 2 terms. It's just not going to happen. And also, let's talk about this, though. Let's talk about it because we got to be real now. I mean, Trump is what, 78 years old? How old is Trump? 78? He's 79 years old. He's 79 years old. So, okay, let's do a little bit of math. Midterms, 26, he'll be 80 years old. 2028, 82 years old. Now, I know Trump's still kicking. He's still kind of in there. But I do see some signs of getting a little bit slower. I'm not saying he's on a Joe Biden level, but I do see some signs because we're all human beings and we can't live forever and be as sharp as we were when we were very younger forever. That's not necessarily a thing that is common for human beings to be able to do. So if he was to theoretically run again, you're talking about 2028 to 2032. So he'd be 86 at the end. That's a little long in the tooth. That's a little long in the tooth, in my humble opinion. Okay. And let's not forget, Trump first became president in 2015. 2028, really 2032, that'd be 17 years from that. That's a long time. That is a long time for someone who's already up there in their age. So even if Trump could run, which he's not going to be able to, even if he could run, I wouldn't recommend it because of his age. I think that it'd be unfair to put that on him. Now, Democrats don't care about that. They will run you if you're 1,000 years old. If you got 1% battery left and if you got 1% battery left, they send you out there with no battery charger. And if your battery runs out, it runs out. Oh, well, it is what it is. They will just pick you up, throw you in the box, and go to the next guy. All right, Kamala, come on. We know you can't talk. You can't put 2 words together, all this, that, and the third, but come on. It's fine. It's fine. That's kind of how they operate. We know you can't talk. We're going to have this interview with you on CBS, and if you have an answer that's kind of crazy, people don't like it, we'll give you a do-over. We'll put out one version of it. That didn't do well. We put out a whole new version and let everybody roll with that. Ain't nobody going to notice. They're stupid. So what? That's the mentality that they have. We don't do that on our side. So it is what it is. CB said Feinstein did it. Trump can do it. Hey, man, that was so crazy what they did to Dianne Feinstein. I was like, man, come on. This lady is pretty much deceased in this chair. She's pretty much deceased. They're talking about some vote yes. She's sitting there getting ready to vote as normal as per her job, right? The aides got to tell her when to vote and how to vote. Obviously, you shouldn't be right there if you have to be told what to do by an outside force when your job is to do that on your own. Your job is to make those decisions for yourself, not to have those on the outside do it for you. We don't want no auto pen situation going on with anybody, whether it be Biden, Trump, or whoever. That's just my humble opinion. Now, Trump, I'm not saying Trump is decrepit. I'm just saying I see some signs. It's not nowhere near Biden falling on the ground, feet up in the air. It's not that, but there are some signs. Okay. He's 79 years old. I mean, give him a break. Give him a break. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Cardinal Flanagan says there's a whole lot of people half their age and the same health, yet nobody worrying they're going to just keel over it. Well, the thing is, If you're 41 years old, it's less likely that you're going to be toward the end of your life than if you are 80 years old. That's just the numbers. That's just the odds, statistics, numbers. Nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with any kind of preference or anything about one person or the other. It's just numbers. That's all. It's just numbers. All right. I'm gonna read some of these here, and then I'm gonna keep moving. Hey, Denisha, 1% battery. They put them out there. Hey, you be all right. Don't worry about it. No charger, no nothing. And if you run out of battery, oh well, you be all right. So what? Next, Kamala, you can't talk. It's fine. Oh, I was yesterday years old when I found out that Karen Bass, you know, the so-called black mayor of Los Angeles, has a Mexican grandfather, like from Mexico. I'm talking about he looking like a conquistador, a straight conquistador. Hold on, I'm gonna find that picture. I'm gonna show it to you later. But it makes sense that you're doing all this defending of the migrants because you feel like this is your people. Meanwhile, most of the time, Karen Bass, you talk about blackity black, 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 black. I've never heard her say nothing about being Mexican. If I had a Mexican granddad who looked straight like Emilio Estevez, Ricky Ricardo, et cetera, I would say something about that. I talk about my granddad all the time. Why have we not really seen hers? Why is that not really a conversation? You're trying to hide your identity. The same thing with Kamala. Why have we not seen your dad? He's not dead. He's still living. Why have we not seen him? You ran for president. You became the nominee. You were out there debating. Well, did you debate Trump? I don't know. But you're out there right next to Trump on the stage. Where's your dad at? You're trying to hide your identity. And I don't like that. If you're going to be an elected official, I want to know who you are, regardless of what it is. Just let me know. Don't be, especially when that identity is important to your policy. It's very important to your policy. Okay. So yeah, shout out to Karen Bass and her Mexican grandfather. I'm gonna try to find a picture right quick while I'm talking so I don't forget. Oh yeah. So wow. And look, we got a whole thing right here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save it for later. I save it for later because we definitely got to get to that. But it's a whole big thing. Okay. She put a post up talking about his name. It's a black and white picture. All of that. This dude looking like he about to go work. Hey, he about to go build a house tonight. Okay. A straight Spaniard, conquistador, mestizo, whatever. That's her granddad. So I understand why she has a soft spot for a particular community. I get it. I totally understand. But I wouldn't have known that based upon her public image of being blackity black, 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 right? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. J.R. Williams says, ABL, do you like all this focus on AI and crypto? I'm skeptical. It seems this new legislation is clearing the road for CBDC and does nothing to protect from influencers pumping and dumping meme coins. I've not really focused too much on the crypto legislation. But as far as AI, there's a need to focus on AI because it's advancing so rapidly that if we ignore it, it'd be too late by the time we realize we couldn't really ignore it. It's advancing so rapidly. I mean, people are using it every day in their workflow. People are being replaced with AI, automation. And I've been sounding an alarm for years. I've been saying have physical skills, physical things you could do. Trade school, that's a really big thing because I know what AI cannot replace as of yet. And that's a dude with some tools in the F-150. Okay. These big F-350 dualies, whatever, they're still going to be on the road fixing stuff. They're still going to be out there, building houses, developing infrastructure, repairing things. They're still going to be doing that. So that needs to be the focus of those who are thinking about getting into the job market, young people, or those who could still kind of switch. You want to get into more of a service-based in-person industry if you think your job is repetitive or redundant and can be done by automation. So it's important to focus on that because people need to be informed about what's happening around them. And if they're not informed, they'll wake up one day and their job will be gone. And they're like, what happened to society? What's going on? Okay. Yeah, it's here. AI is here. And really, for real, AI been here. And a lot of things y'all use every day is powered by AI. You Google searching, okay, that's going to be a lot of AI right there. AI been here, but now it's become more commercialized. It's like the first iteration of your video game systems, your Atari and stuff like this. And now they got hyper realistic graphics. It's the same thing with the AI. It's the birth of that. So you need to be aware of what's going on and try to learn a little bit about it if you are able. If you're in the kind of way, tech savvy, learn something about it so it doesn't catch you off guard later. Also understand how to use it without being caught up, without thinking that this is a human being, you got to use it while realizing it's a tool and nothing more. Okay, that's very, very important. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Hold on, Smooth Artist says, or just learn how to use AI. It's simple. Let me read it right quick. Smooth Artist says, or just learn how to use simple. I'm messing up because it's learn how to use AI. Simple AI. Coming rather y'all like it or not. It's the future, and AI will never completely replace humans. There will always be a need for humanity. Right on. I struggled mightily to read that, but we did it. We most certainly did it. Okay. I'm going to just stop reading the comments for now. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. Thank y'all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Get a thumbs up. Shout out to you guys for being the sponsor of the show, for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. But also shout out to the other show sponsors, patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Go to ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international. I got it. Whatever you need right there on the front page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. All that is right there on the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. And as I always say, if someone is contacting you saying that they're me, they're not, and don't give them any money, don't give them a second of your time, don't give them a reply, don't do nothing. Keep on moving and don't get scammed. We don't got time for that in this year, 2025. All right, so shout out to you guys. Now, I want to start with the kiss cam. I'm going to start it right now just to get it out the way because I know you're tired of seeing it, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents on here. If you have not heard my short on Uncle ABL, and if you're not subscribed to that channel, please do so. I got a lot of stuff for that channel. We got Shannon Sharp, all that over there on that channel. But look, this guy, there is so much here. I might do a deeper dive into this over there on the other channel, but there's so much here. First, you got two married people. They're both married. The guy and the girl, the man and woman, they're both married. Not to each other, obviously, to other people. The woman and her husband just bought a house 5 months ago. They get caught at the Coldplay concert on the kiss cam. It goes mega, super crazy viral. I'm not sure the last time I seen something so viral. I saw this and I kind of like, but then like a couple hours later, it just blew up. It was like a nuke. I like, man, this is crazy. So of course he got fired. As I said in my video, he was going to get fired. She probably next, because you got the CEO fornicating with the HR lady when they both married. That's going to be bad because, listen, you got a board of directors and they're like, yo, you can't be looking like this out here on going viral, embarrassing us. Your morality is compromised. You're untrustworthy. And why would I trust you to lead our company, help us make money, if you make bad decisions like this at a Coldplay concert, hugged up, knowing there could be cameras? And beyond that, it could have been the PI on you, a private investigator. Your wife could have already been known about the affair and send that PI on you. And guys like this, when they get divorced, it'd be a blindside. Oh, I didn't see it coming. Meanwhile, in paperwork, it'd be pictures of you and the girl all over town, all on the airplane, all at the airport, hugged up at the Coldplay concert. So this right here could be the icing on the cake. This is a bad decision from this guy, but let's watch.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. What? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
So I ain't gonna play it too much. I know you're tired of it, but that was Chris Martin, the front man for Coldplay, saying, or they're having an affair, or they're just really shy. He said, like they're having an affair. So you got Chris Martin, Coldplay, world famous, says that in a video about you as he's watching it happen right in front of him. Bro, listen, this guy probably lost so much money behind this because first you had to resign. That just happened today. He resigned from his position as a CEO. Because, again, he was not the boss. He resigned from his position, and I'm sure the divorce is coming. And that divorce, the divorce is going to be crucial. You better get completely torn to pieces. The lawyers are going to bleed you dry. It's going to be a mess. Hopefully your wife is cool. Hopefully she's cool and doesn't really bring you through the rigmarole. But because she's so embarrassed, she might do that on GP. If you would have just divorced her without the embarrassment, it might not be as bad. But now it's embarrassing. Now people are messaging her on social media, harassing her. Bro, I mean, the moral of the story is men, especially, because the women, she's going to be all right because she was an HR lady and her husband is another CEO of another company, was a rum company. So her husband is rich. If she gets divorced from the husband, she's going to be okay. Although they got evidence of her cheating, it don't matter because she's a woman. That's just the way that the laws work. She'll be okay. Okay, because he got the man who did the cheating is going to be the one who gets hurt the most financially out of everybody. And it's going to be ugly. It's going to be real ugly. So, bro, hopefully it was worth it, man. And there's comments about how she looks. It don't matter how she look. Look, I don't care. She could be the most beautiful person on planet Earth. Is it worth losing my job as a CEO? Is it worth probably not being able to work anymore? Is it worth half of my earnings, half of my money, half of my assets? Is it worth that much? I don't think it's worth that much. I don't care how beautiful she is. Jennifer Love Hewitt in 1997. Hey, if it's her, so what? It's still that's kind of a high price. I ain't really trying to pay all that now. Come on. So yeah, now speaking about high price, this is the New York Post with the front cover with Stephen Colbert. Now you got Pocahontas, Cory Booker, and more talking about, well, this is an attack on freedom of speech. This is an attack on journalism. Political comedy will never be the same. Well, look, you can have political comedy. There's plenty of political comedy shows right here on the YouTubes, right here on social media, right here on the interwebs. There's plenty of political comedy that does very well. It does very well, whether you're on the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. Colbert's show is old school in a landscape where it's not necessary and it's become very bloated. Listen, you see what it says right here. His show is losing 40 to 50 million a year. 40 to 50 million a year. The Late Show, Stephen Colbert on CBS. Now listen, he makes $15 million a year for that show. 15 million. And they have 200, not 20, 200, 200. They have 200 employees. Why do we need 200 employees to say Orange Man's bad every night? For what? For what? if you're talented, Stephen Colbert, you'll be able to do well on something like what I'm doing. You could do the Stephen A. Smith route and become a YouTuber if you're actually talented. I think what's going to happen coming up here in the next few years, true talent is going to be what rises to the top. I saw YouTube cracking down on a lot of clickbait and slop kind of content that it won't be monetized. If it's low effort, kind of spammy, they're not going to monetize that because that's creating a drag on the entire platform that people don't want to watch. If I go to YouTube and this platform and that platform and I keep seeing slop and whatnot, I don't want to watch. And it could be the same thing with some of these late shows. Why do I want to watch that? All they're going to do is say Orange Man bad. I got better entertainment right here on my phone for free. Why would I watch this? So I feel for those who are going to lose their job after this. If they're talented, they land on their feet, like I said. But him, I don't know, like, what do y'all think he does next? What's the next step for Stephen Colbert? Because the whole show is going away. It's not just him being fired. It is the entire show going away. It's not making enough money. It's not really profitable. So what's next for Stephen Colbert? Guy Smiley says more popular shows are run by 3 or 4 people. Exactly. You got guys on YouTube. You got somebody like Tim Pool, in my opinion, is as popular or more popular than him when you're looking at because some are going to talk about maybe some of the numbers, some of the ratings and the viewers, but it's artificial because you're going into debt to be able to do it. If your show is not profitable, I don't count that as being successful, even if you have a bunch of viewers, because the reason why you got so many viewers is because you put a bunch of money into it, because you got this time slot on this network TV show, this network TV channel. That's why you have a lot of viewers, but it doesn't equate to money. It's just artificially blown up. I think Tim Pool, when you adjust for everything, is way more popular than the guy like Stephen Colbert because he doesn't have the placing of being on television. He was on YouTube, having to build it organically that way. Yeah, Styles B says Mark Dice, a guy in his kitchen on a laptop. Absolutely. Yep, 100%. So he'll go to MS-13 DNC. Yeah, Mean Saltine says he'll try political commentary or YouTube. I would not want to see him on a panel show. That'd be really sad. That's like Michael Jordan on the Wizards. That's like, I'm not trying to say he's a good. I'm just saying you had this really big platform and now you kind of like, that'd be kind of sad. I'd rather see him do a show on YouTube and try to just scale it down. Have 3 or 4, like somebody said earlier, have 3 or 4 guys, much smaller. And if you're talented, as you may think, you rise to the top. But something else about shows like this, it's scripted. They're reading. I hate when I watch a show and the entire show, when somebody's talking, giving their opinion, it's reading. It's like Saturday Night Live or something like this. Saturday Night Live makes sense because it's fiction. It's just comedy. But when it comes to some political commentary and you're bringing on real people and you're reading everything, your monologues, those days are over with, in my humble opinion. Here's a report from CBS about this kerfuffle happening on CBS. Check it out.
As you've probably heard, CBS is canceling the top-rated Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The announcement came 3 days after Colbert criticized the settlement of President Trump's lawsuit against Paramount, the parent of CBS, as a bribe. Paramount says there is no connection between what Colbert said and the cancellation. Here's Jim Axelrod.
The audience was stunned by Stephen Colbert's announcement.
Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And
Stunned?
Nah, that right there, I ain't gonna lie. That was satisfying. The crowd was satisfying. The employees, I feel for them. A lot of normies, working people, just, I feel for them. But the crowd and Colbert, hey, man, I'm going to take that sorrow and drink it straight to the head, no chaser. You understand what I'm saying?
And not happy.
yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of the Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
Paramount, the parent corporation of CBS, said the decision to cancel the top-rated late-night comedy show was strictly dollars and cents. This is a purely financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount.
This is going to be a rough ride for some people.
The challenging backdrop in late night was a reference to a shrinking audience and revenues for late-night comedy.
It's Johnny.
While Johnny Carson delivered 15 million viewers or more each night by himself.
The golden era. The golden era. See, he was talented. He had talent. But that's not what we have today in a Colbert. Yeah, Colbert is not Johnny Carson.
As the king of late night half a century ago, all three network late shows now total less than 6 million viewers combined.
You know, while I make a lot of jokes about the president,
He's been a strong and frequent critic of President Trump. At the start of this week, he also targeted Paramount for its $16 million settlement of a lawsuit Mr. Trump filed against CBS News.
Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's big fat bribe. Because this all comes as Paramount's owners are trying to get the Trump administration to approve the sale of our network to a new owner, Skydance.
See right there, I mean, that's entertainment. That's entertainment. Like the little trumpet, and then you start dancing. And how you got the gray mustache, but then you got on top is salt and pepper. Like how that work? Because for me, it's like the reverse. But I digress.
President Trump didn't miss the chance to celebrate the news. I absolutely love that Colbert got fired, he posted. His talent was even less than his ratings. As for Stephen Colbert, he isn't going anywhere right away. He told his audience last night he's looking forward to doing his job for another 10 months. In his words, it's going to be fun.
All right, there we go. So Colbert is out of here. And who do y'all think is going to be next? I think Jimmy Kimmel got to be next. Fallon, I used to watch Fallon back in the day, like way back. Before Trump came in office, I used to watch Fallon when I was much younger. But Kimmel, I never liked Kimmel. I never liked Colbert. And I feel like Jimmy Fallon probably isn't that much different than Colbert and Kimmel at this point. They're probably pretty much all the same. You turn to channel 310, 13, whatever it is in your area, it's the same show with a slightly different looking guy. A little bit different. That guy got a mustache, the other one don't, but it's the same kind of content. It's like, it's not that the soul ain't really there no more the way it used to be. When you would have guys that would just be there like a Carson, Johnny Carson. He's there all night just telling jokes. By himself, 15 million. These guys nowadays could never. They could never. And also, somebody said they're all going extinct. That style of show is becoming no longer relevant. The streamers, like I said, Tim Pool killing it every night. Every night. Them getting that many views on the stream like Tim Pool does, it's not very common. 300,000, 400,000 views on a total for a stream is really something else. That's going to be the future. And people are more fragmented as far as their attention. They're not going to be focused on this late night show. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Oh, I got to show you an old school Colbert video. Well, not real old school, but remember this? I'm going to turn this down, but remember this from COVID era, which was a crazy time, by the way. I mean, you got dancing syringes. This guy's on here promoting the vaccine. See, if I was not off of the Colbert train at that point, which of course I was, but if I wasn't, this right here would have sent me over the edge. Like, you know what? Never mind, I'm done. I'm not trying to see no dude with a syringe dress on dancing at me talking about get this shot in your arm. Well, how about I don't? How about I don't say I did? How about that? Yeah, that right there, stuff like that. I was like, come on, man. And they all did that. They all did that. And I'm watching this like, all right, you know what? Okay, we're not going to forget this. We are not going to forget this. Now here is S.E. Cupp on CNN talking about the show cancellation, Stephen Colbert's late show cancellation.
ABC and CBS did when they paid ransom is they endangered the lives of every journalist everywhere, and they made it harder for all of us to do our jobs because the president is pointing at us, putting a target on our backs, and they helped him do that. And so it's always the case when you pay off a pirate, when you pay the ransom, the tribute to navigate safely through the waters are never safe. No matter how much you pay, the waters are unsafe because there's pirates in those waters. And Donald Trump is a pirate, and he wants to maraud through the seas of the media landscape. He's doing it with our help, which is the worst part. What ABC...
S.E. Cupp. I told y'all before, way back when I first started, they emailed me from CNN asking if I wanted to be a panelist on her show. Like, they wanted me to audition in New York to be a permanent panelist on her show. So I guess she had a show on CNN. Does she still have one? I'm not really sure. But this is really a crazy take. S.E. Cupp, are you going to justify what CBS did? Again, what they did was they interviewed Kamala and they staged the interview. They put out a question and an answer from her. The next day or a couple of days later, they put out that same question from the journalist and a different answer from her. Like, who does that? How did you do that and not get in trouble? Staging interviews is some third world banana republic type stuff. That should not happen in the USA. There's got to be some level of accountability. And it wasn't just for a regular person. You're talking about the president, somebody that could have become the president of the USA. You staging the interview. I mean, look, if it would have been the trial, it would have been more embarrassing. It would have been more embarrassing. What they did just simply made sense. Staging interviews, S.E. Cupp, is not the equivalent to being a journalist and wanting to protect your journalistic integrity. Actually, it's quite the opposite if you actually, have a brain and think about what's going on here. I mean, that whole thing was totally crazy. Now, speaking about crazy, so remember from the beginning, she got my glasses, ABL. She cannot do the glasses like me. But listen, as I was saying from the beginning, there's a story from Wall Street Journal that says that Trump drew Jeffrey Epstein the birthday card and he drew a naked woman on the actual card. Look, okay, before I play this, do y'all believe that? Are y'all buying that he really did that? I'm not saying that he was not in the picture with Epstein. Maybe he hung out with him. But drawing the birthday card, I mean, really, who does that? Okay, this is going to be CNN talking about it. And then I thought I got some other station. I don't know who it is. Let's just watch.
The letter concludes, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. All right, Bill, I mean, that's just disgusting. But in an interview with the Journal, Trump denies writing the letter. He denies drawing the picture. He says, this is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words. And he told the Journal he's preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else. So, Bill, I mean,
well,
here we are. I mean, the Wall Street Journal, obviously, with incredibly rigorous standards, is publishing this.
Man, I don't know. Like, I don't know what would make them do this at this moment. I don't really understand. I don't quite get it. This is very confusing to me. Very, very confusing. Now, here is, okay, MS-13 DNC. I think they might have been a little bit critical about the validity of that story from Wall Street Journal.
Are now with this new revelation.
Let me start from the top.
Reporters are now with this new revelation going to be certain that Donald Trump was part of the deep state here, become highly suspicious of him, potentially turn on him. We are just within minutes already getting an indication that that is not the direction that this is going. Already, I can quote from Megyn Kelly on X right now, this is the dumbest attempted hit piece I've ever seen. Then Elon Musk, someone who's been at odds with much of this group lately, has said, yeah, the letter sounds bogus. People on the right now, they're consistently messaging, sort of matching their messaging in some cases already, saying this doesn't sound like him, this isn't how he writes, this doesn't sound like him. So So we're already kind of seeing them all build whatever their story, their initial defense is going to be here. And it's always really telling when you see that roll out about how they're going to do the kind of mental gymnastics that in a way we've already seen them do this week. You played some of the sound at the top of this hour of the influencers trying to figure out how they explain why they so deeply care about this case, but they can still sort of attach themselves to this president and adore him even as he angers them because he isn't giving them the thing that he promised them that he would give.
Let's pause on that. This whole thing about Epstein, all this. I mean, for me, I said from the beginning, I don't even really care. And if you do care, you could compartmentalize. Like, you're not going to get everything you want out of a president. It's just not reality. There's been no president that has ever done that in my lifetime. Maybe before we can argue. We could talk about all the presidents throughout the history of the United States. But in my lifetime, there has not been the perfect president. So that's what I would say. But again, I'm not really an Epstein files kind of person.
And so I just caution people, if you think this is the thing that is now going to like break this whole movement apart, I'm not sure that this is the direction that this is going in. They are probably going to he's going to find whatever his message is. I'm sure we're going to get more messages from the president and the White House tonight. I know Vaughn is making those phone calls in Texas. We speak right now. So they're figuring out what that is going to be. And I imagine, at least when it comes to, is Donald Trump connected to the criminal elements of this case here? Is he somehow a member of the deep state that we have been critiquing for a decade plus now? I don't know.
Yeah. And Angelo, that media sphere is more fractured than it has ever been before in this moment. Antonia read us two voices. I wonder what you've been tracking. And secondarily, can we play this out a different way, where Donald Trump had told the Wall Street Journal that he was going to sue them if they ran the piece, and they would have chosen not to have run it? What would that have done to the length of this story?
I don't think it would have changed the length of the story. I mean, I think there's enough there.
All right, so yeah, that's them. I mean, I saw that. I'm like, man, a birthday card. Who had the bright idea? Like, this sounds like something that you know what this sounds like to me, the whole birthday card thing. This sounds like they sat around at the table and pitched ideas about a story to put out there to get some relevance, to cause tumult in the administration, something, because it doesn't make any sense. So I'm just like very confused. There's got to be a purpose for this. Now here is Chris Cuomo talking about it briefly.
I get that he's pissed off, okay? And he's not wrong. This Wall Street Journal piece is a hack job, okay? And he says he's suing Rupert Murdoch, who he, was his buddy. They have, Fox kind of made Trump, and he's suing the Journal. He's suing everybody. He says he didn't write the birthday letter that they're ascribing to him, to Epstein for his 50th birthday. I mean, it's so stupid, okay? The Epstein story is about abusing kids who didn't have the power or agency to do anything about it, that rich and powerful people may have known it was going on and they got away with it. That's the story, okay? It's not that Trump liked a scumbag, okay? Now, I get that in the media this is great because it's bad for Trump and he's going crazy and he's going to pump and move the story for the Wall Street Journal right now by saying it's fake and it's wrong, but it doesn't move the needle in the country.
It doesn't, not at all. It doesn't do anything. So let's just say there is a birthday card where Trump drew a picture on it. You posting the story and putting it out there is not going to accomplish anything. Maybe it gets you a few views, some clicks on your website, a little bit of a infusion of cash, a little teeny bit of that because of the attention that you get from this. But beyond that, you're not going to change hearts and minds of people. So yeah, shout out Chris Cuomo and the orange tan. Hey, that's that New York, that's an Italian kind of Irish New York look. Is that it, or am I tripping? Am I being racist? Shout out to the orange tan. Yeah, I can't do the orange tan. All I'm gonna do is just get like this right here. That's all I'm gonna do in the sun. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, there was speaking about, somebody says all fake. Speaking about all fake, there was a fake kidnapping. So someone said that she was kidnapped by bounty hunters and put into a warehouse where there were other illegal aliens there, making it seem like it was some kind of clandestine operation from the government, but really it was fake. It was Jussie Smollett all over again.
The woman's daughter received a text message from a number that she wasn't familiar with, stating that their mother was at a warehouse in San Clemente. Now, they don't know this for sure, and that's why they're demanding answers from immigration officials tonight on exactly where she is.
The last 5 days have been a nightmare.
Because the family of Julie Calderon doesn't know where their mother is.
What's happening is absolutely horrific.
I got a question. Do y'all think the family was in on it? Do y'all think the family got a little tip? Like, hey, I'm about to do this thing and we about to, you know what I mean? It's about to be crazy. I need y'all to help me. Or do you think they were really concerned about their loved one?
And it's unacceptable.
Last Wednesday night, Calderon was on her way to her janitorial job when she tells her family she was followed by 2 unmarked vehicles along Alameda. Feeling unsafe, she pulled into this parking lot in South L.A.
Ununiformed men and unmarked cars kidnapped Julie.
The family lawyer says Calderon has been able to make 2 phone calls since this happened, telling them the men didn't identify themselves. And instead of taking her to a detention center in L.A., she was driven to San Ysidro.
She was taken straight from here to the border and pressured to sign self-deportation paperwork.
And when she refused and asked to speak with a lawyer, she was transported with others to a warehouse Calderon says is not far from where she was initially taken.
She told us that some people had been in that warehouse for months. She said they are keeping us here until we agree to sign voluntary self-deportation paperwork.
Okay, so that's the story. There's more to this particular video, but we got another video to follow up because that whole thing about, oh, these masked men kidnapped me that didn't identify themselves, they put me in the warehouse, there's people in here, been here for months, that was all fake. Okay, that was all fake. And again, this isn't over there in Los Angeles. Okay, let me check out the other one here.
California is charged with staging a fake kidnapping and blaming federal agents or people working with them. Correspondent Matt Finn reporting live on this from LA. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Martha. This woman is here illegally, a Mexican national. She goes by Julie Calderon, and the feds say she's being charged with lying to police and conspiracy for this elaborate hoax that they believe was meant to incite even more tension and also possibly make some money. Federal investigators say a key piece of evidence, photos. Calderon and her co-conspirators had pictures ready, staged to make it look like she was in custody with a dirty face, even removing her shoelaces. But the feds say there's at least one glaring error, because she would have been asked to take off the necklace in an official federal photo.
Hey, the dirty face part was hilarious. That was funny.
The U.S. government says surveillance video helped them crack the case. The feds say this woman lied about being kidnapped by federal agents at a Jack in the Box here in L.A., taken to San Ysidro to the south, and asked to self-deport, but she refused, so she was held in a warehouse. But the feds say they caught her roaming free in the Bakersfield area, hundreds of miles north. This scheme went to extremes: a filed police report, a GoFundMe, even a press conference announcing her disappearance.
So in a press conference, signs, find my mother, find my mother. A whole big lie.
This very parking lot a week ago, ununiformed men in unmarked cars kidnapped Julie. And with her courage and her strength, even though we don't know where Julie is.
Man, y'all know exactly where Julie is. She in Bakersfield, minding her business. Chilling, about to go to the tienda, you know what I mean? About to get some tacos, some churrascos, all of that. Okay, about to have a good old meal. Y'all know exactly where she's at. She probably went with y'all to get them signs made. This is crazy. Crazy. And you know what? Can I say I'm surprised? We've seen this over and over again. The one girl, listen, I'm not going to get food no more. Ever since that one girl by the train tracks and stuff like this. Whenever I see find my mom, I can't find. Whenever I see that, I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Y'all got it. It's only a matter of time before it is revealed that you are scamming people.
We don't know when we will find her. Julie has managed to make 2 phone calls to the family since she's been kidnapped.
The Department of Justice says Calderon was indeed using her iPhone during her alleged disappearance, which helped them locate her. She faces a maximum of 10 years if convicted. The U.S. attorney here in L.A. says, quote, dangerous rhetoric that ICE agents are kidnapping illegal migrants is being recklessly peddled by politicians and echoed in the media to inflame the public and discredit our courageous federal agents. We do have calls into that attorney who you saw in that video who is representing this woman. And also there are also co-conspirators listed throughout this federal complaint, so we expect there may be more people charged here.
Lock them all up. Hey, big rocks, little rocks. If they're here illegally, listen, first of all, lock them up, big rocks, little rocks. If they're here illegally, which they probably are here illegally, hey, El Salvador, I don't care where you're from. You could be from China, El Salvador, ASAP. They sent some guys to Swaziland, which is now known as Eswatini, which is like kind of an enclave in South Africa. I don't know why they did that. Like, you talking about people walking around butt naked. What they going to do with these migrants? Not a thing. What they going to do with them? Put them in a hut? I don't understand. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to the migrants. Shout out to the liars. Hey, all liars are going to be exposed. So it's fine. It is fine. All right. I got a question for y'all. Speaking about the migrants, stuff like this, I got a question. Okay, so we have a police officer who was stopping a young man from carrying his Mexican flag on stage at graduation. I'm going to play this video, and y'all let me know. Did the cop do the right thing or the wrong thing? Y'all check it out.
They wouldn't let him take his flag.
All right, so for me, I like it. I like it because, listen, first of all, I'm not sure about his freedom of speech here. Some are going to say they're violating the freedom of speech. If you guys think that way, y'all let me know. But for me, if you're in America and you're graduating from a school in America, what's it going to be? High school, I suppose. So you probably got a free education, K through 12. You should only fly one flag, and that should be the American flag. If it was me and I came from somewhere else and now I'm here and I'm able to get educated, I'm able to become somebody, I'm able to help my family here and back home, I'll be appreciative and fly the American flag. That's what I would do, but that's just me. I don't like the whole foreign flag thing in graduations or any kind of place where it should be about where you at right now. That's just my humble opinion. Now, if you wanted to go to a parade of culture, okay, Puerto Rican Day Parade, Oktoberfest, that's something different. But a graduation and a public K through 12 school funded by the American taxpayer to get you an education, I don't really like the whole flying of different countries' flags. I don't care if it's Mexico, Canada, Russia, South Africa. I don't care where it is. What do y'all think? Nash says, respect the land your feet are on. Christy says, me too. Rob says, yeah, man. Vampire says, if it was the 80s, he would have got jumped. Hey, that's my thing. That's my thing. Yo, you here in this country. You here in this country. You graduating K through 12. The taxpayer, we all Americans paid for it. You should be appreciative, period. And that goes beyond color. It's not even about color. It's about America, being a citizen, paying taxes, contributing to society, being thankful about where you at. Okay. Now, this is an interesting clip. Shout out to Gothics. Okay. If you guys have not heard about Gothics before, y'all please follow her on Instagram. But this young lady was trying to lecture Gothics about what it's like to be black. All right, let's watch this.
you say that a black person has privilege when they have been oppressed for so much? And then that oppression has been ingrained in America for such a long time. So you saying that I'm not done. You saying that black people have privilege is a way for you to feel better about your white privilege.
Yes, people have been oppressed. Black people have been oppressed. White people have been oppressed. At some point, you're going to have to get over it and move forward. This is 2025.
But it's hard to move forward when there's so many policies that are coming out that are affecting people of color.
I'm not affected.
You're not affected, but I am as a Latina.
How? Specifically, how?
I live in fear that my parents can be deported. Unfortunately,
are they here? Are they here legally?
Luckily for you, you don't have to fear that.
Are they here legally?
I'm not going to answer that because I don't have to answer you.
Okay, so that's okay.
But I'm just telling you.
So if they are, then it's because they came here illegally and not because of the color of their skin, correct?
What does that have to do with
Because you said you live in fear that you're a Latina.
Do you know what immigration is? Immigration is coming here for better opportunities. What does that have to do with the color of my skin?
It has to do
we
with
have
coming
white
legally.
people coming here.
No.
No, you do not understand
that
what
as a
immigration
Latina,
is.
you're terrified of your parents getting deported. Why would they be deported if they're legal citizens?
There you go. Exactly. And nothing to do with no color, nothing like that. Because, hey, I done seen plenty black folk, Haitians, Nigerians, Dominicans, Cubans, all of that, Venezuelans, whatever. A lot of black people getting deported. A lot of Hispanics getting deported. Whites getting deported. The thing about it is, it's not going to be as many of other races aside from Central Americans because it's so close. But you're going to get other people, but they got to come from further away. Chinese, there's a lot of Chinese getting deported. And they've been getting deported because what they do, they put women in massage parlors and stuff like this. They get involved in straight up slavery, like children and stuff like this, the Chinese. The Russians, they do it. A lot of other Europeans, they do it, but not as much as those who are right there south of the border. So it's not a race thing. It's about, hey, are you here legally? Are you here legally? If you're here legally, that's fine. I don't care nothing about nothing. If you're following the law, then you're okay in my book. If you're not following the law, then why should you be given special kind of privilege? Because if I don't follow the law, they lock me up straight away. Big rocks, little rocks. Okay. If I drive too fast on the street, oh, that's reckless driving. Okay. Go to prison. Illegal alien has no license. It's no big deal. Hey, let me get pulled over with a suspended license or something like this. All right, man, you about to get locked up. But for them, it's fine. All we ask is that you guys follow the law, just like we have to follow the law. It can't be you guys are kind of a special class that's protected while regular Americans are not, regardless of what your color is. I don't care your last name, your first name, none of that. It's do the right thing. That's pretty much what that is. Okay, now here's an interesting clip. I have not really watched it, but I got sent this a couple times. So this guy is, I guess, a young Democrat or an upcoming Democrat, someone trying to become elected. His name is James Tallarico, and he went on Joe Rogan. Now, the caption says, this is the best argument I've heard in a long time about why you should be a Democrat. Okay, I want to hear this. I've not really heard it, so I want to react live with y'all. Check it out.
Why are you a Democrat?
Well, my mother, so I told you I was born to a single mom. She was a preacher's daughter from Laredo down on the border. She left home at 19. She moved up to Austin. She met my birth father, who was a high school dropout and had a drinking problem.
That's a red flag. You already kind of like downplaying your father. You're already bashing your father. That's a red flag right there, but I'm going to digress.
And that drinking problem sometimes led to being violent with my mother. And there was one night, it was me and mom and my birth father, and he had too much drink and got violent again. And that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. And my mom decided right then and there that she was leaving. So she packed all our stuff. She put me in her little Ford Escort. She drove me to the hotel where she worked downtown. The manager let us stay in one of the rooms for a few weeks until we found a little apartment in East Austin. And mom, she took on double duty at the hotel. She fought for me at every instance, even when it was her own physical safety was at risk.
I got to pause for copyright so we see what's going on here so far. I think the first question was about being a Democrat, and now he's going into his background, his life story. So I want to see how he ties that into the whole thing about being a Democrat.
And back then, this was early 90s, you know, she could look over at the Texas Capitol and she saw Texas Democrats like Ann Richards, Bob Bullock, people who fought for the little guy, for working people, people who were forgotten and left behind. That was the classic Democratic Party.
Right.
And so I remember when I guess I was maybe kindergarten, and someone in school, they were talking about political parties, and I asked my mom what we were, and she was like, we're Democrats because Democrats fight for the people. That was what she said. And my mom is still a Democrat today, but like, I don't know how much our party is still true to that, but I do know that that's our historical legacy, is the party that fights for
okay, let's pause before he lands his plane. He's like right at the runway, get ready to touch down. Before he says his last piece and lands a plane, the Democrats always fought for the people. As far as I know, Democrats were around during slavery. The Republicans were the ones who freed the slaves. The very first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln, and it was a guy like him that iced Abraham Lincoln after he did it. Maybe I'm not remembering things right. Y'all let me know in the comments.
For the little guy. And I think we're at our best when we do that today. We're at our worst when we stray from that.
I would agree with that.
So I still believe the Democratic Party can get back to those roots. I hope last year was a wake-up call, especially to the National Democratic Party, about what needs to change and how we need to be different if we're going to build a big coalition to take on the issues that we care about. But that's why I'm a Democrat and why I hope the party can get back to those roots.
Why are you?
Okay, so are you guys convinced that this guy, again, his name is James Talarico, a Democrat out of Texas. Do you guys think he made a really good, a good pitch? Did he sell it to you very well about why he's a Democrat? Are you inspired? I don't know, man. That wasn't really, Okay, so your mom was poor and you say Democrats, you saw them and they fought for the little guys. So that's why you a Democrat? Okay. That's not really a lot. They have a history of what? Racism, slavery, the same thing they're doing right now, trying to bring the migrants in, making them slaves, bringing back the exact same economy they had before we had to end it in the 1800s. Is that what we're talking about? I'm having a hard time figuring it out. I'm trying to just get my bearings, trying to get my bearings a little bit. All right. Now, this is a crazy story. Hold on. Have you guys seen this whole thing about Trump and his foot or his ankles? So this picture has gone viral. I'm going to read this caption. President Trump has been diagnosed with a benign and common vein condition known as chronic venous insufficiency after he noticed swelling in his legs. The White House announced, and then they're going to explain the condition. So they said that this picture went viral of his ankles. His ankles. So we got pictures of the president's ankle going viral, and that is a story worth, news coverage on CBS, right? But when Joe Biden fell on the ground multiple times, I'm talking about feet up in the air, pointed sky high. I'm seeing horseshoe hooves on the bottom of his foot. I'm seeing all of that. When he fell off the bike, when he fell on the plane steps, he kept falling over and over again. When he was in the sand, wobbling and shaking around, couldn't really walk straight. When he's doing all that, it's not really a big story. If we said something, oh, you guys, but we have a picture of his ankles. Is that what we're doing? Okay. I'm just making sure that we understand how the media treated Joe Biden and his insufficiencies versus President Trump and his. Okay. The president has ankles. Hey, I had no idea, right? I had no clue.
Photos of President Trump circulating online have raised some questions 6 months now into his second term.
The pictures show that the president's ankles recently have been swollen and there is bruising on the back of his right hand.
Today, trying to put an end to speculation, the White House released the results of an examination by the president's medical team.
The report, signed by the White House physician, Dr. Sean Barbabella, describes the hand bruises as minor soft tissue irritation. It says they are the result of frequent handshaking and a side effect of taking aspirin for heart health.
And about the swollen ankles, the diagnosis is chronic venous insufficiency. Reason to call in our Dr. John LaPook for an explanation. So, John, this is a new term for most of us. What exactly is that?
Right. Maurice, the heart pumps blood to the brain and the rest of the body through arteries. But how does it get back against gravity to the heart? Well, it turns out there are muscles in the leg, and when they contract, they squeeze the blood upstream against gravity through veins. And what stops it from falling right back down again is a series of one-way valves. Now, as you get older, those valves become weakened. They can become weakened. You can get swelling and pooling of blood down there.
So basically, he has swollen ankles. That's basically what it is. It's like a fancy way to say he has swollen ankles. Well, I mean, is that really enough to make a whole news story about? Is that enough to make the picture of his ankles go viral? Is that enough for that? But again, if it's Joe Biden and he falls on the ground and we say, hey, he fell on the ground a few times now, is something going on? Nah, it's okay. He's fine. He's totally good. He's athletic. He's spry. When they say he's spry, he's athletic. It's like, all right, man. And then what they're going to do is come out with a book like Jake Tapper talking about, oh, it was a cover-up. A cover-up? If it was a cover-up, who covered it up? You and your whole network? These people are so funny. But see, this is why mainstream media is an important thing to have, because they have resources to get down to the bottom of information and give you things that you need. But the way they editorialize and put spin on stories is so terrible. You can't watch them for opinion. You can only watch them to get facts, and you still got to double check and cross-reference and all that kind of stuff to make sure that it's true. Okay. Now here is Catherine Mayer talking about NPR and the defunding of it. Now, her contention is that people in rural areas depend upon PBS and NPR. If you guys live in the rural area, is that true? Let me know. Now, y'all know me. West Virginia is my original home. I got a lot of family up there. So I know people in rural places. I never heard anybody talk about PBS and NPR. Never. So I don't really understand. Maybe I've not been to every place in the country. So maybe you guys live out in a very far away place and you rely upon PBS and NPR. If that's the case, let me know. But let's just watch some of this here.
Without that federal funding, a number of things could happen. As we've already said, stations could close. There are stations that will likely have to go off the air. The tragedy beyond the loss of those stations, which is already in and of itself an enormous loss to local communities, is that their licenses will also go away. So it's not necessarily a question of additional stations, larger stations stepping in and broadcasting in those areas. Once those licenses are sold, they are gone. And that is an enormous challenge to maintain that universal access that we currently are able to offer, or near universal access. The next thing that could happen is, even if the station remains, you could see significant layoffs, which would mean a degradation in service. One of the things that people really value in their local community is the host who wakes up and welcomes them to the day, who understands not only how the names of local towns are pronounced, but also knows the people who live in them.
Are y'all buying this? Now, I know about local radio, and for the freeze frame, I'm sorry, it is what it is. We need to start to go right there. That's a little bit better. But do y'all think it's telling the truth? Because again, parts of the country could be different. Where you live, it might be 2 tumbleweeds, and that's it for 100 miles away from your house. And maybe you might get an AM signal from somewhere, and you depend on PBS, NPR. What do y'all think? And I don't know, and especially, I'm not buying it because you got all kinds of ways to get internet and other forms of media out to a remote place other than relying upon PBS and NPR. Y'all let me know. And again, that's the CEO of NPR. Here go Chuck Schumer. And I think, one thing about it, people like Chuck Schumer, Catherine Mayer, et cetera, they're just out of touch. They're out of touch. They don't really understand. Or they'll just read something that's been prepared for them without actually verifying it.
When parents see Republicans just axed educational programming, when people see Republicans just axe Sesame Street to pay for tax cuts to billionaires, when rural Americans see Republicans not just betrayed them and defunded public radio, sometimes the only source in rural areas so vital to natural disasters, and it's the only news source there, the consequences will be severe. Americans will remember. Democrats will ensure that they don't forget.
Okay, a threat like that ain't really gonna do it. I don't know, man. These people are kind of crazy. Here's Pocahontas talking about the government-run grocery stores that Mom Donnie wants to implement. And I beg you, if you live in New York City, please, because you got to understand, it's not just New York that'll be affected if this guy becomes the mayor. It'll be a big part of the country that'll be affected. The whole Northeast corridor will be affected because that's one of the engines. That's one of the country's engines. You got New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, other big cities in the country. That's the engine that makes the country go. So if they got a problem, then a lot of us got a problem. So he cannot be there, in my humble opinion. But here's Pocahontas talking about how the government-run grocery stores actually work.
He said, we've got a problem with entire food deserts where people can't get access to grocery stores. Said, I'd like to take a look at whether or not we can have some kind of, like we do on military bases, you have some kind of support from the city government that says we're going to get some food grocery stores in areas that right now are food deserts. And by the way, it's a new and fresh plan for New York City, but it's been tried in other cities around the country and has had some real successes. So what I hear Mom Donnie saying is, I want to try things to make it work for working families. And you know what? This is how democracy works. A lot of people in New York City said, that sounds good to me. I'd rather try that than any of the other alternatives available to me.
Okay, let's talk about food deserts right quick. Let's talk about food deserts. The reason why food deserts exist is because a grocery store in that area is not viable. That's why. My dad was really into that issue of food deserts. He fought very hard for a grocery store in Norfolk, Virginia, in the Berkeley area. If you know about Berkeley, it was a grocery store right there. I think it's gone at this point, but he fought very hard to get a grocery store right there in that neighborhood. At a certain point, that grocery store closed down that he fought to get there. Why? Because you in this area that can't really support it. People don't have enough money. They're going to go in there and steal. Okay, they're going to steal. People that actually buy things are not enough to keep the store open. So ultimately, what you want to do is remove profit. We're going back to communism. Communism has been tried, and it always fails. We cannot have New York City become communist. It just can't work. It's not going to work. A grocery store in the food desert will go out of business. It's a food desert for a reason. But the thing about it is, you live in New York, so you always got a way to get from point A to point B. Hop on the train. You got delivery services. You're always able to get food if you really want it. But people just make excuses. Oh, I live in the food desert. It's like, hey, I'm 800 pounds because I live in the food desert. Well, if you live in the food desert, I can't tell because you're eating plenty of it. You getting some kind of food from somewhere. Okay, you 800 pounds in the so-called food desert. That's like you drowning in the desert. Like an actual desert where there's no water, yet you drown with water on you. How you do that in the desert? Anyway. But yeah, shout out to Mom Donnie. Hopefully you don't win. Now, speaking about Mom Donnie, here he is talking about abolishing private property. Another tenet of communism, as I have been saying this entire time of him trying to become the mayor.
My platform is that every single person should have housing. And I think faced with these two options, the system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused, right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
Mhm.
And I think that people try and play like gotcha games about these kinds of things. And it's like, look, I care more about whether somebody has a home. My platform is that.
Okay, now it's okay. The comment that you want some of them Soviet blocks. You want some of those. Hey, the rodents and all that kind of stuff in there is going to be crucial. You want like a housing project type situation, and that won't work either. You're going to have all kind of crazy crime. I mean, they got housing projects in New York City. They got housing for a lot of people in New York. I mean, you could live. I'm sure there's space to live in a project right now. That's what that's for, is to house people. A lot of homeless people, if you want to talk about that in the real way, a lot of them don't want to be in housing because when they're on the streets, they got all kind of freedom. They could smoke crack all day long just out in the pub. Like you could smoke crack, shoot fentanyl, do whatever you want if you're not doing it in a home. If you're doing that in a shelter, in an apartment or something like that, you're going to get evicted ASAP because you're putting everybody else in danger. You got more freedom to be outside doing whatever you want to do. Panhandling all day, making your income. You're able to get some hot Takis or whatever, your chopped cheese, bacon, naked cheese, all that kind of stuff. And then the cap it on off, get your nice little hit of that Fetty Wap, and then you're done for the day. They don't want your housing. There is housing available in a place like New York City. You could build more of it, but it's going to be low-income project housing, which is going to be very dangerous because of the kind of people that's going to be there. What we need to do is get Americans more skilled so they can go out there and get housing that's best suited for them. Also, how about the illegal aliens? If you got, on the low end, 20 million illegal aliens in the country, if we got them out of the country, back to their home countries, all of a sudden we got at least, 10 to 15 million houses or dwellings available because we don't have all the illegal aliens here. So why not just do that, Mom Donnie, rather than just descending into communism, which, again, never, ever, ever works. They keep trying it, and it keeps failing. At a certain point, it's like, let's just not be a moron and use our brains for more than a hat rack. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, Big Mike. We got Big Mike and Barry, Bathhouse Barry, talking about the divorce rumors. That's bogus. That's false. And before I begin, what do y'all think about the divorce rumors between Michelle Obama and Barack Obama? Do you think there was any kind of validity there? Do you think that there was nothing to it? They're talking about, oh, you were Jennifer Aniston, all this, that, and the third. Do you guys believe that? Or it's just haters getting in the way?
Like each other? Oh, yeah, really, huh? That's so the nice. Rumor mill.
This morning, the Obamas setting the record straight about their marriage on the podcast IMO, hosted by the former First Lady and her brother, Craig Robinson.
It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Now don't start. I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room together.
I know, because when we...
Let's pause before they get into it. Barack Obama, I'm looking at this guy, he's like the black Gavin Newsom. Okay, super smooth kind of guy. Women gonna like him. They tried to make a Hakeem Jeffries or a Cory Booker look like him or be like him. Oh, because they light-skinned black dudes, they could just be Obama, please. Ain't no way. Obama, say whatever you want to say, but he got the juice. He got the sauce, as the cool kids say. Hakeem Jeffries, a robot at best. A robot. The Gen Z stare. That's Hakeem Jeffries. Cory Booker, gay and kind of fat, to be totally honest with you. They don't have it. Now, listen, I'm no Barack Obama fan. I'm not going to vote for this guy, but I got to just call it how I see it. I see why he became president twice. Those guys I mentioned won't ever be anything other than a local representative. Hakeem Jeffries could never get to a high level. Cory Booker, same thing. Kamala Harris, same thing. They don't have the juice. They don't have that type of spark. that he has. Nobody really has that in the Democratic Party right now, which is part of the reason why they've been losing on the federal level. They can only win on the federal level by cheating and doing stuff like that, but I digress.
We aren't. Folks think we're divorced.
The former First Lady poking fun at rumors they're on the brink of a divorce.
Barack Obama's getting divorced. Does that change you guys' view of him?
With even more speculation and tabloids after Michelle Obama did not attend President Trump's second inauguration, which she said had to do with self-care and learning the art of saying no.
That was so embarrassing, though. That was completely embarrassing. It's like, look, not only the inauguration, but Jimmy Carter's funeral, you didn't go to either one of those. And you could see all the presidents go with their wives. Then you got W with Laura. You got Slit Willie with Hillary. You had even Mike Pence with his wife. I think his name was what? Karen Pence. You had everybody that came there. If Jimmy Carter was still living at 1,000 years old, they'd have rolled him out there, mouth wide open. They would have rolled him out there for the inauguration.
Since worrying to some supporters.
People come up to me all the time. This woman came up to me and she's like, what did he do?
And you knew she was going to say what
he did. I was like, don't worry, everything's fine. And let me tell you, she was so happy, you would have thought I gave her a Christmas gift.
They also opened up about parenthood, saying it starts with choosing the right partner, the couple not shying away from the ups and downs.
I got a question. So a little while ago, I'm not sure how long ago it was at this point, but there was a young man who y'all had in the White House with you. What was he, a chef? And then after the White House was over with, you took him to live with you still. What's going on with that? Like, who was he to y'all aside from being the chef? Like, is that just gonna get swept under the rug? Are we gonna ignore that? You remember the guy that died playing in the water on their compound? Who was that really to y'all? But whatever.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times. So we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't let me start tearing up now.
So IMO.
All right, there you go. So again, that is Big Mike and Barack. Barack, what he did to get a little bit more, what y'all call it, seasoning, a little bit more swag. What he did was go to Chicago and be up under Jeremiah Wright, that preacher. Not God bless that dude. That's where he got that from. But Cory Booker and the other dude, what's his name? Hakeem Jeffries, they did not have that type of grooming. They just kind of regular guys that got into politics who look like they could be genetically similar to Barack Obama. They're trying to place him at high levels so they can replace him physically in the White House, but they don't have that grooming part that will make them be like him. Okay, you can look like Shaq, but can you actually play like Shaq? Probably not. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, hold on. There's one I wanted to get to right quick. Oh, yeah. It was a video with Karen Bass. I don't know where it's at, but I'm gonna show you guys Karen Bass. That's a pretty important thing. Hold on, give me a second here. Because I also want to show her granddad. And if you guys don't know, Karen Bass, of course, the mayor of Los Angeles, who's been allowing quite a bit of all this nonsense to go on in Los Angeles with the migrants. Okay, I got it. I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to show you her granddad. And once I play this, look at her face. When you see Karen Bass with the afro and everything, you think, oh, just a regular black woman, right? That's what you think. And she leans into being black. That's what she really leads with. But there's more to her. She's not just like me. I'm a black person. My dad, like my parents, my grandparents, my great-grands, my 2 times great-grands, they're black. With her, it's a little bit different.
And this was on Father's Day. It was really sad. I went to East LA. I went to 3 different restaurants, kind of a block with restaurants clustered. No one was there.
Right.
And the owners were saying that, because I said, well, is this like COVID? They said, no, worse.
Really?
Because the workforce is not coming in. But you remember how a lot of restaurants survived through home delivery?
Yeah.
They said people aren't ordering.
Wow.
And people aren't ordering because they don't have the money and they're scared.
So not ordering, not going to, because they're afraid of raids.
Right? They're afraid.
Yeah.
Afraid to leave their home.
All right, there we go. So again, this is Karen Bass. Is that the guy from Vice? Is that him? Y'all let me know if it is. But Karen Bass, again, the mayor of Los Angeles. Now, let's do the reveal of her grandfather. This is hilarious. Hold on. All right. Let me get it back on the screen. If I can zoom into this here. Matter of fact, I can't show you this, but let me show you. All right, I'm a reader caption, but I won't show you the actual Facebook page that it's on. I'm gonna just show you the picture. Okay, that is her grandfather. I'm not sure which one, but it doesn't really matter. You got Howdy Doody sitting right there with the bowl cut. You got 2, white guys, basically. I'm reading the caption. My grandfather, Salvador, came to this country from Mexico in the arms of his mother. He grew up in Boyle Heights. He was a dreamer before the term existed. During World War II, he volunteered to fight for the only country he knew, the USA. Well, congrats to him for that. Shout out to him for that. When he returned home, he received the same federal support offered to all World War II veterans. And with that, he was able to become a citizen, learn a trade, build a business, and raise his family. I am here today because of him. So when you see Karen Bass, and you think, oh, this is a black woman, all this, that, and the third. Well, kind of a little bit, but there's more to her. So maybe you understand why she's on the side of the illegal aliens, because that's kind of how her dad came here, or her grandfather. And maybe she wants the same thing for all those coming into the country illegally crossing the border to get, to become a citizen like her grandfather did. Okay. Again, this is the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. That's her granddad right there. Salvador from Mexico. Okay? And that bow tie is crazy. That bow tie is crucial. I have nothing against Mexican, nothing against anybody of any race. I'm just saying we need context. I don't like when someone does not tell me everything about themselves, or when they're intentionally misleading. People like Kamala Harris talking about I'm black. Meanwhile, your mom is straight from the Indian subcontinent. Straight 100% Indian, red dot on the forehead. That kind of Indian, right? And her dad is, if he black, he barely. When you say you black and you kind of run your whole campaign on that, and you try to defend yourself by being black, and you use that as a weapon against people, but that's not really the full story, that's called being deceptive, and I don't like that. That's called being deceptive, 100%. So yeah, shout out to Karen Bass and her Mexican granddad. Makes sense, doesn't it? But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, let's go to, this might not be, matter of fact, before we go back to LA, let's go to Florida. This is a little bit of automation. Okay, this is going to be a Burger King in Florida. And they got automation already rocking and rolling. You should have seen this coming. They've already had these kind of things in other spots across the country for many, many years now. But as we get deeper into the AI generation, we're going to see a lot more of this. Check it out.
Look, y'all, so apparently, right, I'm headed into this Burger King in Florida, right? Now, mind you, y'all, when we go in Burger King, look what this is. Look at this. Oh, okay. So you gotta order at the kiosk at Burger King, yeah. Look at this. Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Boss back.
So nobody's here. You gotta pick your order up from here. Okay. Okay. You don't deal with anyone here.
Nope, you just go straight to the kiosk and get what you want. But really, that ain't nothing. It's nothing new. Nobody should be surprised because let's talk about it for a minute. First of all, a lot of y'all using apps to order the food before you get there and you get it brought to your house. Okay. And I'm going to show you a delivery bot that got stuck. I witnessed one. I was in Atlanta recently and I saw a bot that got stuck with a delivery in it. So you're already using apps. You're using Uber Eats and DoorDash. You're not interacting with anybody anyway. You just order it and then it gets dropped at your door and that's it. Now, on the way to your door, it might have been in a 2005 a 2005 Lexus 300 with no more leather in it. The leather's torn to pieces. A dog is in there. The dog ain't had no bath in 3 months. It stinks. You got meth pipes all over the place. It might be other kind of animals in there. A rabbit, no cage. Okay, all in the vehicle. Meanwhile, you got your Chick-fil-A sandwich, your waffle fries, and all of that right next to a pile of garbage on the tore up leather in a Lexus 300 from 2001. I don't want that to carry my food. Personally, I like to go and physically see it and get it right there. When I buy food from the grocery store, I go to the fresh produce. Every time. Straight to the back. Okay, let me get them right there. I can see it right in front of me. That wild caught, yeah, let me get that. So this kind of thing shouldn't really surprise you because we already do it. We got the apps on our phone. This is just a way to get the foot traffic and not have to have somebody standing there waiting for you to come in and place your order. It's easy. What do y'all think? Do y'all like it? Do you not like it? What's going on? And then eventually, once they get the robots really cracking, they make the food too. Once it becomes less expensive and easy to do that, that'll be the whole process. And they already have those in certain parts of the world where it's a robot in the back making your food. You got the kiosk out front to order. So nothing is really human interaction. No human involvement. It might be one person in there making sure that everything works properly. But beyond that, it's fine. Do I go to Kroger? We don't have a Kroger anywhere near here, as far as I know. But I used to go to Kroger all the time when there was one close to me in Virginia. Kroger's a good store. Where I go right now mostly is Publix and Costco. Hey, I'm a Costco. Hey, get Kirkland tattooed right here on my forehead. That's how big of a Costco guy I am. Matter of fact, hold on. You see it. Hey, you see it right there. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a parody of this, but I ain't going to say too much more. But yeah, I'm a Costco guy all day long. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, I got to show you guys this. This was crazy. This was totally crazy. And this is kind of what's happening with a lot of monies. A lot of monies in the country not being used properly. So this guy was getting, this guy was getting $2,800 a month in food stamps, and it got dropped to $350. Okay. Now that's what he says. I looked him up. He has a TikTok page, and there's 2 videos on there. One is what I'm about to show you, and the other is after this one, where he showed his paperwork showing the decrease in food stamp allocation. And he's going to explain to you why. And once he explains to you why, let me know if you think that he's right in his feelings or if he's wrong. Check it out.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. You know, I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country. Because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all shit.
Okay, so that's the first one. Now, when I saw that, I was like, this dude's got to be trolling, just trying to get some attention. It's not really a real video. He's pretending to be a Trump voter. That's what I thought from the beginning. That was my initial thought. But I looked him up, and I found a follow-up video. Okay, so hold on. Let me show you the follow-up video. Okay, some of y'all already said it. Now, here's the same guy from his TikTok page, and we see him outside. Now, first, what I noticed, a modular home, a mobile home, a trailer perhaps, or something that's not really super. And then you got a carport with a big Ram 3500 dually. If you don't work, what's the truck for? Why do you have a 3500 dually if you don't work, bro? What are you doing with the truck? What are you hauling around? Do you got these kids? Are your kids 800 pounds each? Is the truck for the fat kid? Okay, hold on. Let me stop. Okay, he's going to tell you more about what's going on.
Trump has cut my food stamps down from $2,800 down to $350. Okay, my previous video of me trying to expose all this corruption going on in the Trump administration. I got nothing but a bunch of hate for it. Everybody telling me go get a job, go do this. You know, I'm lazy, I'm useless. But at the end of the day, none of you guys know my situation. Okay, most of you guys have never been probably lower class or ever been poor or ever been through any kind of rough situations. Okay, and most of you probably don't got 5 kids, and I've got 1 on the way. That's the issue. And if I need some help from the government, then what's the issue of me getting some fucking help? I mean, that's the big thing here is like everybody's always talking about, oh yeah, we need to help the lower class, but now that I'm getting help and then it literally all gets taken away. Now everybody's got a problem with it. And it literally makes absolutely no sense. Makes no fucking sense, man.
Okay, so you see that he shows the paper in which his benefits have been decreased. I'm gonna read some of this. It says effective August 1st, 2025, your monthly benefits will be SNAP food stamps, $281, EBT cash assistance, $70. Total monthly benefit amount, $351. And this is a change from, this is a change from your previous total monthly amount of $2,822. Reason for the change, this adjustment is based on updated information regarding your household composition, income, eligibility. Possible factors contributed to the change may include, but are not, and I can't see the rest, but ultimately it's probably because you are able-bodied, you can work, but you don't want to work. You said it yourself. Why should I go work 50, 60 hours to take care of my 5 kids with 1 on the way? Bro, if this is real, and this letter appears to be real, it could have been ChatGPT, the whole thing could have been fake. I'm not sure. I think this dude is telling the truth because there's a lot of guys like that. See, when people say that Americans don't want to work, that's not totally true, but it is somewhat true for guys like this. That right there, you got this big truck in the background, a dually for what? You don't have no job. What are you doing in a dually? When I see a dually, I'm thinking about guys that actually work. You don't want to work. Go get a job. You got 6 kids, bro. I would be ashamed of myself as a man for sitting in the house doing nothing while I got 6 kids. And do you have a wife or you got baby mamas? What do y'all think about this guy? If he's being serious, he's being 100% real, should he A, go get a job, take care of his, not one, not two, but 6 kids, or B, sit at the house, do nothing, and get his whole lifestyle funded by you and not a taxpayer? What do y'all think? Okay, long hair lover says pay him 0. Hey, I ain't mad at you. 6 kids, bro? And my thing is, at what point did you realize that you were not really financially stable, or that you wanted to stay at home with your kids? When did that happen? Okay. Bon James says, dude has a 3,500 dually and is crying now. Bro, be a man, bro. Get a job. Take care of your kids. Right on. Hey, right on. 100%. Hey, that truck, that's the craziest part, is that truck. It's like, bro, come on. Really? For what? Why? You want to be a big man with no job? That's crazy. That is totally crazy. Now, here are some of the things you get on Medicaid, okay? I'm not sure who this woman is. I'm not sure what her situation is, but these are some things you get on Medicaid. And we know for a fact that this program is being abused by Americans who don't want to work, and in some cases, illegal aliens who don't want to work or who shouldn't be here at all anyway. But let's watch.
Calling all mommies. If you receive Medicaid for your child, I'm not sure if a lot of people know they do have extra benefits. They have funds for swimming lessons, extracurricular activities for your kids. My kids are a little bit older, so they offered gift cards for them. One of the gift cards was a $100 Barnes & Noble gift card, and they received this free through Medicaid. So you just have to call your Medicaid provider, insurance provider, and ask them what extra benefits they have available in your state and see what they have to say. You have the option to choose. And so, get out there and get any extra things that you can for your child, because if you like me, if it's free, it's for me. Calling all.
All right, there you go. So again, I don't know about her, what her situation is, what's going on, but those things are available. You get all kind of stuff on Medicaid. And again, the program, we know for sure, is being abused by those who don't want to work. Again, I'm not saying it's her specifically in the video, but also illegal aliens. What they said, Medi-Cal had 1 million illegal aliens on it, and it was driving the state broke because they couldn't afford to pay it. 1 million illegal aliens on Medi-Cal, paid for by you, the taxpayer, of course, which is why they're so upset at Trump trying to regulate it. It's a federal program. They get federal money, and they're mad about him regulating it. But it's like, hey, these federal funds aren't to help you take care of illegal aliens who shouldn't be here at all. And that is a federal issue, immigration. So we're going to take that away from you, and they got to go somewhere else. Simple as that. Okay, now, speaking about monies being spent inappropriately, here is Friato with their light rail. I guess you guys got your own train of nowhere, huh, Friato? Let's watch some of this.
Why is Seattle spending $148 billion and cutting down 14,000 trees under the guise of green transportation? That is Sound Transit, the Seattle area's mass transit system. And to fund their ongoing light rail fiasco, they committed car registration fraud? Politicians wanted to alleviate traffic and improve access from the city to the suburbs. So between 1996 and 2016, voters approved a series of light rail projects connecting downtown to Linwood, South King County, West Seattle, Ballard, and Bellevue. And only people in the counties where the light rail operated would pay for it. Unfortunately for them, government funded means it's over budget and behind schedule. First, the Linwood line was $500 million over budget and 6 months behind schedule. And then the predicted cost doubled, and the 7 miles from downtown to Bellevue jumped $225 million. By 2018, Sound Transit was $1 billion over budget in only 1 year. And as the cost of the light rail ballooned, so did the need for money. So the counties increased car registration fees from $30 a year to an added $80 for every $10,000 in estimated value. But Sound Transit used an outdated depreciation schedule to overvalue everyone's car. As retribution.
That's crazy. Did you hear that? So they were over the budget for the light rail by $1 billion. And to make up for them being over budget, they charge you, if you out there, $80 more per $10,000 of value on your car, but they use outdated values for your car. So your car is probably worth, in reality, like $15,000, $20,000, but they use old models before it depreciated to the point where it is now to make you pay more than what you should. You see what I'm saying? Because $80 for each $10,000. So I'm gonna just overvalue you by $10,000. Now you got to pay another $80 on top of the first two.
Voters passed a bill that would cap car tabs at $30 a year, but Sound Transit estimated this would cost them $7 billion. But luckily, government knows best. The Washington State Transit Association, King County, and City of Seattle filed a lawsuit saying the ballot initiative violated the single subject rule and was therefore unconstitutional. And the state Supreme Court agreed, calling it misleading. In the meantime, Sound Transit cut down 5,300 Douglas fir trees, many of which were planted during the Eisenhower administration. And then a year later, cut down 8,600 trees, with millions in timber becoming property of the contractors.
Oh my God, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wait a minute. Wait. They took you let the guys cutting the. Nah, that's crazy. They took the trees, so they pretty much did it for free. They kind of. Hold on, let me let her finish.
Green. And then things went from bad to worse. The spine from downtown to Bellevue still isn't done despite them hitting the budget limit. The West Seattle line is now triple the initial cost, and Sound Transit actually told people going $5 billion over budget is not catastrophic. The audacity, considering a project meant to be done in 2035 is now 2046. It's awful for taxpayers, but great news for Dow Constantine, the newly elected Sound Transit CEO whose base salary starts at $450,000 a year. And he previously appointed more than half of the board who voted for him. So the real question, will people ever be able to smoke meth on the light rail from Ballard to Bellevue?
Of course. That's what it's going to be. Man, that's crazy. Freatle. Hey, you got to love the left coast. Yeah, you got to love the left coast. I mean, they do some of the wackiest things, don't they? They do the wackiest things. Now, this is going to be an interesting video. Some of y'all might know him. Y'all might recognize his voice, recognize his face. His name is Amir, but you may know him as Loon. He was a rapper on Bad Boy with Puff back in the 90s or late. It might have been probably early 2000s, I think. That was right around Loon's time. Yeah, he was on a song called I Need a Girl with Puff and Usher. Anyway, he's changed his life. He went to prison, all that, he's different now. So his name is Amir, but you may know him as Loon. He's talking about the homeless industrial complex, how there's so much money and homelessness that does not actually fix the problem because it's not really about that. It's about just getting that money.
The United States has over 1.5 million nonprofit organizations.
Wow.
And they gross 2.6 trillion a year.
With a T?
2.6 trillion a year.
That's not even the GDP of most countries on earth.
Absolutely. But when you look at the quote unquote efforts or those that's entrusted with this affair and rectifying this affair, and you see the fallacy and the gross negligence that comes with United States, they have one of the largest percentages of homelessness, mass incarceration, food insecurity, and the list goes on. So now when you dive into the statistics behind it, it's like, wow.
How's that possible?
This is a real problem. The United States.
Well, I mean, ultimately, they spend a lot of money on homelessness. It's just a way to keep people employed. That's all. Keeping them employed. And even if the money does get to so-called homeless people, all you're going to do is encourage more of it. Because a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them are just on drugs. If you want to fix the homeless issue, you first got to start with securing the southern border and cutting the drugs off, because that's fueling all of this. Not all who are homeless are on drugs, but that's the majority of it, and that can't really be ignored. And sometimes where somebody becomes homeless, the drugs are going to find them. You're in despair, you don't know what to do. The drugs are right there, and now we got the fentanyl. Super cheap, like dumb cheap, cheaper than crack was. Part of the reason why crack spread so heavily in the community is because it was cheap, dirt cheap. But with fentanyl, that's cheaper than crack was. And the prices now are cheaper than crack was back then. So let's say crack was $10 for a piece back in 1990. Now an equivalent amount of fentanyl would be like a couple of dollars. So it's even cheaper now, even though we have a bunch of inflation for a drug that's worse. So that's going to be the issue, is the drugs. Fix that, fix the problem. You just want to donate to a charity, they're going to take your money and go straight to Cabo San Lucas, popping bottles. They're going to go with Gavin Newsom and be in French Laundry during the scamdemic where everybody else shut down with your money. That's how that works. Okay. That is how it works. Now check it out. This is going to be, hold on. This is going to be, what I want to show you actually is this video from last time. And then I found one of my own. So I think this is in LA. I showed it last time, but I want to just show you for context. Now, this is them training a robot, a food delivery robot, to avoid human beings on the ground. So if you're in LA and you got crack smokers, I'm going to play it in the background without the sound. If you're in LA and you got crack smokers, people that's crazy, whatever, sleep on the ground, on the sidewalk, they want the robot to be able to avoid these obstacles. So they have dummies on the ground right there and right there. There's a cone right there in the back. It's like an obstacle course. They're training the robot to deal with that. That's kind of what's going on. There's a cone right there too. So you see the general issue. Now, I saw that kind of thing happening in real time. So here I am in Atlanta, and I'm driving down the street, and the food robot right there got stuck behind some trash cans.
Pro Uber Eats. Hey, you stuck, ain't you? Gotta get around that.
And you can see there's plenty of space on the sidewalk right next to it. Plenty of space. And there is plenty of space ahead. Okay, plenty of space. And right when I recorded that, a Waymo came. I'm like, what is going on here? Takeover of the androids. Okay, now look. People said, oh, you could have helped it, ABL. Move the trash out of the way. First of all, I'm not getting out of my car. Okay, I don't got my gun. It wasn't a dangerous area. It was all right. It was like Midtown. It was all right. But I'm not getting out of my car. I'm not touching anybody's trash because I don't know what they done put in their trash. I don't know if we got tweakers, people, spreading all kind of stuff on it. I don't got no gloves. I'm not touching no trash cans that I don't know. I'm not a trash man. This ain't no dump truck. I got the Mustang out here. I'm not going to touch these trash cans. But beyond that, why should I have to help the robot? I thought that I didn't want to work. I thought that the robots had to come because the humans don't want to deliver no pizza. They don't want to deliver no ramen noodles. Okay, let the robot handle it. Or better yet, do what they were doing in the first video and just train them how to avoid a trash can and go around. Because you got plenty of room on the curb right there. Plenty of room. The trash cans are bumped up against the retaining wall, so you got plenty of room. But hey, you can't get around it. I left it hanging. Hey, man. But that area, it's a nice area, actually. That area, that's like a lot of college students. That ain't no hood area at all. Maybe at one point it was, but it's not no more. Not at all. You be seeing white folks out there walking their dog. It ain't that kind of party. But anyway, I got a few more I want to show. Hold on. Where am I going to go here? We're getting a little bit late. Here's a scenario. So a family with their kids, they go out and they eat, and there's an automatic gratuity added onto their bill. So I think it was a total of 6 people, including the 2 adults and the 4 kids. And I think the dad is not really liking that they put the gratuity on the bill. Let's watch.
My wife and I took our 4 kids out for breakfast yesterday morning, and the waitress automatically added a 20% tip to the bill because we had 6 people in our group. Now on the menu, it does say that for groups 6 or larger, a 20% automatic gratuity will be added to your bill. But here's the thing, we only ordered 3 meals because my children are 7, 5, 3, and 11 months. So we do go out to eat a lot, and I have often seen this where a restaurant will add that 20% to the bill because of the extra hassle that goes along with having 6 people. But what I don't understand is how you can go about automatically charging that 20% when number 1, the service was not very good, nor was it worth that 20% tip, and then number 2, because I have a baby with me. Now for me, my general rule of thumb is if it is great service, I'll tip 20 or even 25%. If it's average service, I'll give about 15%, and if it's just mediocre getting by, I'll give 10%. So I'm just curious, if you work as a server or in the restaurant industry, would you charge 2 parents and their 4 little kids, including a baby, that extra 20% gratuity because of the 6 people rule? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Okay, I'll tell you now. Since you asked me, I'll tell you. Bro, it says it right there on the menu. If you feel like that rule is not okay, you don't like it, then don't eat there. It's simple. It says it right there. If you got a party of 6 or more, we're going to add 20%. It didn't say if you got a party of 6 adults, if you got a party of 6 above 12 years old. It said 6 people, period. And you, in my opinion, are a guy who's kind of cheap. You didn't want to pay the tip no way. But then when you saw it on your bill, you kind of got a little bit frustrated because you didn't really want to pay the tip. But again, if you don't want to pay, if you don't want to follow their rules, don't eat there. It says it on the menu. It wasn't a surprise at the end that they didn't tell you, that they didn't warn you. You got 6 people, pay the 20%. And bro, let's be honest. Like, where you at right now? Okay, what's this? Wake and Bacon? We ain't talking about no 5-star restaurant, okay? You talking about hamburgers and hot dogs at best. Hold on, let me see what they had. Are they gonna show the food or nah? Okay, you talking about look at what look at the food. Y'all got plastic cups. Come on, man, be serious. Like, you're not talking about a whole bunch of money. Eggs and all kind of just regular American food. I'm seeing the Stanley Cup is funny. That's funny. Okay. See, you got priorities kind of mixed up. You can afford this big Stanley Cup that costs $1,000 or whatever. I'm exaggerating. But you crying about 20% at this mom and pop $20 spot? Come on, bro. Be serious. Be for real. Hey, how much was the actual gratuity with the 20%? What, like $5? Come on, man. Listen, for me, I'm a little bit biased. I used to work in the restaurant, as y'all know, and I overtip because I'm black and they think I don't tip already. So I overtip to compensate. So that right there, I wouldn't have made no video about that. I wouldn't have complained about that. I would have given them the 20% and more anyway. I probably would have gave half of that little bill for $15. Bro, you're at Jim Bob's Shake Shack. The bill is like $48. Pay the 20%, bro. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to him. Do y'all agree? Disagree? Y'all let me know. Okay, now, here's a good video. It's a good one. This woman has an Airbnb in Destin, Florida. Shout out to the Redneck Riviera. I say that with love. Down there on the Florida Panhandle, you got a beach area. So she has an Airbnb and 10 college kids had the B&B. Let's see how they left it.
We just had 10 college kids check out of our vacation rental in Destin, Florida. Let's see how they left it. Very clean. Even smells good in here. They left some sunscreen. Let's see what's in the fridge. Absolutely nothing. Wow, they did a great job. I'm a little bit surprised. Nothing in the freezer. We'll get them here. Somebody always leaves something in the dryer. Nope, nothing. Man, their mamas raised them right. Ooh, man, time to do a little maintenance on these kick plates. We need to paint this and get that taken care of. All right, they used the sofa bed. Ooh, there's some kind of, oh, it's sand. It's like there's some kind of white powder on the floor. We're at the beach, guys. There's a little sand, no big deal. Just laundry. Again, left this one clean, a little bit of sand. Really no big deal though. So of course we're still gonna sweep, mop, wipe down, disinfect every surface. But in terms of like extra work, they really didn't leave any extra work for our cleaners. I found the one thing. They did one thing. They ripped the toilet paper holder off the wall, and they didn't even rip it off the wall. That's still fixable. I'll have my husband make a quick trip to Home Depot, get that fixed before the next guest checks in. No big deal. We're actually about to redo this whole pool area. Looks like they
basically put all the pool stuff back where it goes. Man, everything looks great out here. So a lot of people get really nervous about renting to big groups, especially young people. But as you can see, it's not always bad. They left this place amazing. 5 stars for this guest.
All right, so shout out to them. Now, if it's me and I go to an Airbnb, like I don't like Airbnbs really. I'm not an Airbnb guy, but even in the hotel room, I'm gonna always leave it clean. I'm always leave it clean, and I'll tip in the hotel room because I'm gonna overtip because I'm black, whatever. I tip in the hotel room too, $20 or whatever it is for the lady cleaning it up. Yeah, I still do that, and I'm gonna leave the room clean. All I'm not gonna do is make the bed, but if I got towels or anything like that, any trash, like I'm the kind of guy, I'll bring like a trash bag, like a regular trash bag, if there ain't no bags in there, and I'll put that in. I'll put it in the trash as a liner, so it'll just go in there and then tie it up at the end. That's kind of how I do. So if I had an Airbnb, I'd do the same thing. It'd be spotless by the time the people get there. Minus maybe just making the bed, but beyond that, yeah. Because I ain't gonna make the bed. They got to break it down anyway because they got to wash the sheets. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do. And I think that should happen a lot more. Now, I would never have an Airbnb as a host because I know that some people were not raised right. Some of y'all are not raised right. Y'all do some crazy things. Okay, my restaurant days, I saw some of y'all in the bathroom doing a little bit of everything in the bathroom. I'm talking about some of y'all's debris in the bathroom was a mess. So I'll leave it at that. So that's probably why I wouldn't actually be a host of an Airbnb. All right, but what do y'all think? Is that how you leave rooms? Is that how you leave places? Or is just like, hey, whatever, ain't no big deal. All right. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got super chats on deck, and then I'm gonna get to the calls. The number to call is 706, there we go, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. I got super chats I'm going to read, and then I'm going to get to the calls. Excuse me. Give me a second. Let me refresh right quick to get the super chats on the screen, and then we get rocking and rolling. All righty, where we at? Thank you to Apu Bakr Al Puff Daddy, who says, you think Obama will be indicted for Russia hoax? I don't think that you're going to get Barack Obama or nobody like that indicted. I don't see that happening at all. Yeah, I would not. Hey, if you guys are wanting Barack Obama to get indicted for the Russia hoax, don't hold your breath. A president, like, think about it like this. Okay, they were trying to get President Trump. You can't really get a president for something. That'd be very, very difficult, especially since a lot of the people that would be involved with trying to get Obama are probably his friends. They would never. Thank you to Apu again, who says, here's hoping deep state cronies get arrested. Thank you to Smooth Artist, who says, I feel the Coldplay was an inside job. Someone knew about it, their affairs. Or, okay, someone knew. I mean, I'm saying, but they put themselves out there. They were not just, listen, if I was doing something I shouldn't be doing, I wouldn't, number one, be doing it in public. And number two, if I am in public, I'm going to stay as incognito, as low as possible. I'm not going to be at the edge of the mezzanine, holding her, doing all kind of extra stuff, bringing views, bringing eyes to myself from the audience. That's just stupid. And then that just goes to his dumb decision making, which is why he got fired. Not for nothing other than you're a bad decision maker. That's why you got fired. Thank you to Trumpinator, who says, I want Corn Pop to host late night. Trumpinator also says, libs are hooked on Trump like crack. They are. Thank you to Unknown Opinionoid. Okay, I'm not going to read that one. That's a little inappropriate. Unknown Opinionoid says, bro, the billionaires and millionaires just want you to stay still enough so they can put, okay, what are we talking about? Like, what is going on? Like, what's up with all these weird super chats? Okay, I'm not reading those, so you can just go ahead and, you know what I mean? Ron Henderson says the only reason you have a food desert is because the people keep stealing in those neighborhoods. Can't make money that way. Exactly. Thank you to John Medeski, who says, you lost supporters since your Carmelo endorsement. I endorsed Carmelo. Is that what I did? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I think those who understand who I am and they support me are going to do that, and those who don't are not. You can't be focused on losing supporters when you say something, because if you do that, then what are you doing it for? Are you doing it because you really believe in what you say, or are you doing it because you're just trying to seek validation from others? If you're trying to do the latter, you soft. I'm not a soft person. So that's pretty much where I'm at on that. Regardless of what anybody says, regardless of what anybody thinks, I'm going to still have my own opinion, period. Hate it or love it, it's fine. Ron Henderson says, man don't work, family don't eat. Sound like a problem to me. Get to work, dude. Exactly. 100%. John Medeski says, ABL defended Carmelo Anthony, blackity black. I mean, we got some people that are a little dumb, and it's okay. You know, because if everything's about color, I don't know, man. I feel like, you know, what I've been seeing lately is a lot more dumb people that have been vocal. And I feel like social media has given the average person who, not even the average person, social media has given unintelligent people a platform to just say whatever they want. And that's fine. But at a certain point, it is what it is. We're not getting intelligent banter from a lot of these people. We're getting just, Jerry Springer. We're not really getting intelligent conversation from a lot of these people. Michael Critchlow says, thoughts on Obama saying every boy needs a gay man in their life. That kind of language is what groomers say, because that's how they recruit the next generation. Okay, he said that there was a gay man in his life that helped him. Now, my question is, all right, what did he help you with? That's kind of how they talk. You know, you want to be some, that right there. You know what that sounds like? Remember that story I covered about that boy in Philadelphia that killed that social worker or whatever? It was a young black kid. He might have been like 18, 19, something like this. And then it was a white guy, like 30-something years old. Is that what you want, Barack Obama? That kind of relationship with some man sexually abusing a boy and blackmailing them? Is that what we're talking about? I'm having a hard time getting it. I'm having a hard time being able to understand. Yeah, so that gets to Kai's Posthumous, who says, RIP to the 3 LASD sheriffs who died during training. Yeah, very sad. Now, was that the question? I mean, pardon me, was that the, I'm reading the comments. Was that the explosion that happened? So was it a training exercise that went wrong? I'm not sure, because I saw that and I didn't do a video on it because I'm like, okay, what is going on here? Is it an attack, a gas leak? Like, what happened? So I don't know how that story concluded, if it's the same story we're talking about. But yeah, it's a lot of dumb people on the interwebs. It's a lot of clickbait. Oh, the clickbait, listen, you're talking about Benny, people like this. Listen, people do clickbait because it works, but it only will work for a while, because at a certain point, people are going to get tired of it. And they say, all right, man, look, man, if it's going to be clickbait, then what am I like? I don't want to get fooled into watching this. And then if when they click on the clickbait, the content is kind of whack, it's like, I'd rather would just not be involved with this guy or anybody like him. And that's how they kind of turn away from that kind of content. Okay, that's pretty much what it is. So Claudia says, ABL, it was an explosion while handling explosives. Okay, so it was explosives, but it wasn't like a detonation. It wasn't on purpose. It was just a mistake. Okay. So yeah, RIP to them. RIP to the 3 Los Angeles, what was that? LASD Sheriff's Department. RIP to them. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call again, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker at a certain point, and also it'll be in the description box. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Yeah, some of y'all with the comments, y'all gotta just get it together, man. We gotta just, I don't know, maybe we gotta just stop being so silly. Shot faces, clickbait. Yeah, it's a lot of that goes on. Yeah, I saw the fireworks explosion. I saw that happen a few days ago. I did see that. Very, very unfortunate. And I saw that they were capturing people that had the really big explosives, the really big fireworks in LA. Like they had drones and they were monitoring if you had those really big, crazy, explosive fireworks and you were getting a ticket or something for this. I'm not quite sure what the penalty was. But yeah, I did see that. Hold on. Genius Act passed. Let me see what the Genius Act is. Is that really a thing that passed? Or are we just talking? What's going on? So, digital currency. Okay, Trump signs landmark Genius Act. New frontier for crypto. Okay, a stable coin market. Stable coins are viewed as relatively safe type of cryptocurrency. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Crypto, I don't really have a lot of faith in crypto. I feel like crypto is Beanie Babies. Unless it's like specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum maybe, but beyond that, it's Beanie Babies. 860, you're not speaking to.
Hey, what's up?
It's all good. What's happening?
Anthony, I just, boy, you're hard to get a hold of these days, especially with this new phone, this Google. It's no good. It's garbage. But anyway, I had to write it down because I keep forgetting. Do you know why your elite politicians, your wealthy, and your Hollywood stars all want to make sure that the illegal aliens are well taken care of with food stamps and health care provided completely by the taxpayers? Do you know why that is?
Why's that?
Because they feel guilty paying them slave wages that no American can afford to live off of, so they get the American taxpayers to pay for their health care and their grocery bill so they can feel better about themselves. That's what it's all about, Anthony. Sir, you have a great night, and God bless you, and God bless America. People, let's get our country back. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
I thank you for the call, man. Most certainly appreciate you. But yeah, of course, it just have them. They have us, a taxpayer, pay for them. That's what's going on. Thank you to Kenny Powers. Kenny Powers says, this is because I agree so. Let me say it right now. This is because I agree so much with what you said. Social media has given unintelligent people a platform to say what they like. I like your honesty and bluntness. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that came straight from the heart. Straight from the heart. And I just see it so much. It just kind of annoys me. And I try to be the counter to that as much as I can. I try to just give informed opinions. That's why whenever I do a video, I give sources. Even in my shorts, I do, where it's just me like talking in the camera on my cell phone. I have sources in the background. Like I do a green screen with me floating head, and it'd be article. I'm not just going to talk just to be talking. I'm not going to be stoking panic. I'm going to just give you an honest opinion with facts to back it up as much as possible. Okay, so that's pretty much what that is. All right, let's go to 559. You don't know who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Hey, good, man. How about Trump pulling Gavin's funding for the train to nowhere?
Hey, it's about time because, like, what are we doing? Spending money for no reason? Unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly. I find it funny how he turned around and sued him the next day, but also simultaneously pulled the funding for the proposed public housing that he was going to build on top of the land of the Palos Verdes homes that was all burned down. I'm kind of, call coincidences, but, I'm kind of wondering if the 2 and 2 kind of go together with the slush fund here.
That's a very good question. That's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to call in and also give my condolences to the 3 Los Angeles sheriff's officers that passed away during the explosion during training. Rest in peace to them. God bless them and their families. One was, I believe, a 33-year veteran. One was a 22-year, and one was a 19-year. So these were all legendary officers, not only in their department, but the entire state of California. That type of knowledge, I think it was like combined 75 years of experience. You'll never be able to replace that for a long time. So anyway, ABL, thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate it as always. God bless you, sir, and God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. The number to call is, again, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. 740, you're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Jeff from West Virginia. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hey, I never have any problems getting through for some reason. I think your phone line's working out well, personally. Anyways, I want to say, first off, I agree with you on the Obama thing. That white boy ain't going to leave that threesome he's got lined up there. That picture you were showing earlier, the only thing is missing was a kiddie pool of baby oil and Puff Daddy. What do you don't think this Trump card thing, this drawing and a birthday card's real?
Not at all. Not in the least bit.
Yeah, I don't either. I've never known, I've never had another man, or I've never known another man that hands out birthday cards and drawings to other men, except for the ones that were weaned on a pickle. I mean, it's and I don't think Trump is like that. So I just don't believe it. I think what you have going on is, you remember those rags, National Enquirer, our grandmothers would read and stuff? A lot of times they would be sued, but they were betting on they would get more money from the story than what they would be sued for. And that's probably what's going on here, wouldn't you figure?
That's a really good way to look at it, and that's probably what's going on. But see, the thing about Wall Street Journal, they're supposed to be a real organization, not a rag like National Enquirer. So that's pretty crazy for the reputation going forward.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but everything's going downhill right nowadays. You know how that goes. You smile an awful lot when you talk about the Stephen Colbert getting fired thing.
Hey, it's a long time coming. I'm glad, because it's just garbage, and I hope that they can do something else with that time slot, put out some real good quality content, because that is terrible.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really hope he takes your template and gets on YouTube and lets people call in. I'd love to have a complete lunatic leftist that I could call into and talk about things like all these great big lesbians wearing makeup and repealing the 19th Amendment and stuff. That'd be fun.
It would, for sure.
Speaking of them big lesbians, and then I'll let you off here, I'll pose a question to you. Do you know why it is them great big lesbians that wear makeup can't go on diets, ABL?
What's that?
Because you can't eat Jenny Craig with Mary Kay on your face.
There you go.
All right, man. Well, we'll keep it rolling. I thought I'd just call in and have a little fun tonight. You're doing a good job. Talk to you later, bud.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Let's keep rocking. Let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how's it going, ABL? It's your loose friend Libertarian here. You're hard-working, door-dashing, vape shop working. You know how it is. It is what it is. The combination of I'm late and then Tom LaVey. I go ahead and roll up the window up. How's it going, ABL? I'm enjoying the show, and how was your evening?
Hey, everything's going great, man. How about yourself?
I was watching your live stream. I caught wind of the TikToker who was complaining about the benefits and having five kids, and then one coming on the way. You gotta be kidding me. This guy's literally would be the exact same person who would criticize women for having a bunch of kids also, but him having a bunch of kids as well. Man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was laughing off of this because I know guys who have 6 kids, and they're not making no excuses of working. And actually, matter of fact, they're the most hardworking people in the world.
Right on.
I mean, if you're a person, if you are providing for your kids and you want for the best for your kids, the best example is to work. I don't get why, in his mindset, to be a shield to the government and just take money that is actually our money that we work hard to bust our tail to earn, and then he tries to complain about it. And this guy has an expensive truck. An expensive truck. I have a roommate who has an expensive truck. He's spending as much money as close to my rent to spend that money on an expensive truck. And this guy's complaining that his benefits because, man, my question is, somebody could be looking at income. How the heck he gonna afford that truck right there? He'd be doing some side hustles on the side that are a bit questionable, my friend, if you know what I'm talking about. Especially if you're talking about some trailer parks out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Right on it, right on. He'd be, you never know, behind closed doors, he'd be Trevor Phillips right on the bet. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous. It's funny to me that these people exist sometimes, you know? This is why I feel like that communism these days and this time period would not work out, because you got people like that just reaping the benefits while the authority just lets it happen and punishes everybody else by throwing them in gulags. And they don't realize when communism comes around that everybody's forced to work because there's no input and output of resources. So it would not go good for the new generation of, pronouns. They don't realize that. That's funny. But hey, I appreciate your content, man. You're awesome. I appreciate it. And I do kind of disagree with the whole NPR thing. And there's a reason why.
Okay, what's the reason?
Well, the reason why is CNN is too hyper-focused on slinging dirt. If you want to get a perspective on the left's, philosophies or what they think or what they feel or what their perspective on without the mudslinging, that would be the resource you would look at on some aspects. But to be honest with you, anybody would. I mean, personally, I'd rather listen to NPR to ever even look at a CNN screen in my lifetime of parodies, of garbage, of just. It might as well be looking at the funnies by this point. CNN has lost all credibility. They're like literally the 90s version of Fox News. Sad, isn't it?
Well, do you think that NPR and whatnot should be funded by the government?
Well, and I want to be perfectly honest with you. I don't like the idea of being funded by the government, but at the exact same time, I mean, personally, their journalists are actually real journalists compared to CNN. But I don't like the idea it's funded by the government. I will agree with you on that. I'm not saying it's being funded by the government, but at the same time, I mean, if you are like the CEO of NPR, of course you're going to be trying to sell us a bridge. But it is what it is. Hey, I very much appreciate your phone call, ABL. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, no problem. Hey, and then all the people want to call me Coke and we got. Heck no, I ain't no Tony Montana. I'm only the Cheech and Chong, my brother. See ya.
All right, shout out to him. Shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling. I definitely appreciate y'all. But yeah, nah, man, like government funded media, I'm cool. I'm good on that. Like, I'm not against them specifically, but this is the government funding part. What's speaking to 617?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Hey, it's unbelievable how the ignorance is, huh?
What are you talking about?
People, like not you, but all these YouTubers, most people on the right, they're just full of ignorance. It's just
what's it got to do with me?
Well, you part of the plan, right? You're a YouTuber, you're a right winger, right?
So first it was not you, then it was other YouTubers. Now it's me again.
Well,
which
you
one is it?
include them. I'm saying like the bunch of the people, the bunch of them.
So is it including me or not?
Yeah, it's including you.
But you said at first that it wasn't. Well, no.
Well,
you said so. No. You said at first that it was not me. Now you're saying something different. So which one is it?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay. So the question is, why is it me? How do I get involved here?
Okay, so you get involved by posting videos. You post videos for other people that you don't have any information to back it up.
Such as?
So pretty much you
give me an example. Give me an example.
That was.
Give me an example.
That was getting like the guy that was getting like $7,000 on food stamp. It was called like to $200 and something. You post that video, but instead to get information from the SNAP program, they will tell you what is the maximum amount that a family will get in base of the state. You post a video of someone that you don't know if the documentation is true, and then you posted a lady that's saying that she didn't want to quit her job because she quit her job. She didn't want to work. She was a nurse because the government bought her a house. You didn't have. When I asked you, send me the information. How could I get a house myself? I quit my 2 jobs. You couldn't deliver that. Like it's constant. For example,
So you've made your statement. Now, do you have any evidence to say that those stories are false?
They are false because the government will never.
Where's your evidence?
Buy somebody a house.
Where's your evidence?
Because I read the housing programs from Section
Where is it? Can you send me something? Can you send me email?
I'm not going to argue because you.
No. I'm asking you a question. I mean, I could just hang up if it's like that. I'm asking you a question. Like, can you send me an email with the information to debunk what I put up?
Yeah, I will send you an email. You give me your email, I'll send it to you.
You know my email. It's on my website. I always say it every time I start the stream.
Then let's because I have more to say. So this is
okay.
Just
so because right now all you're doing is just hearsay, the same as me. So at this point, no. At this point, it's just my word against yours.
Okay. So let's leave it like that. The government buy people houses, and we have so many people homeless in the United States. We have so many people that can't even afford rent. That in some places, I live in Boston, where rent is 1-bedroom apartment is $2,200. 2-bedroom apartment is $3,500 average. And people sometimes they have families living in one room, 4 people, 5 people living in one room, but the government buy them a house. Okay, so next step. Let me give you the next. What I want to call next. You say that Mamdani is a communist. He's a socialist communist. He's going to turn New York into communism. That's not what you say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how he will do that? How he will accomplish that?
Well, that's what he wants to do by his policies.
Well, how he will accomplish that?
Well, that's his policies. Like if he's in government.
Excuse
me. Be quiet. Let me finish. If he's in government and he's able to enact his policies, that's what it's going to be. He said he wants to have. Excuse me. Shut up. Stop talking. I'm talking. Well, I talk. Don't talk. How about that? Now, as I was saying before, so we interrupted. One of his first things was the grocery stores that are owned by the government. That right there is communism because you're removing the profit incentive from the stores, so it is run by the state. Then he wants to have all this housing that's also run by the state. These are communist ideas that don't work.
So can I talk now?
I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. You never read any of his policies. You never read them. You just hear it from someone because someone in Fox News said it. You just repeat what he said. Okay, let me help you.
No. I played. No, because you're saying something false. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Then you get the floor back. I'm playing videos of Mamdani saying it himself.
Okay.
He said in the video, we may have to get rid of private property. He said that in the video. It was not Fox News. It was him talking. Go ahead.
Okay, so can I talk? Okay. So when he was talking about the grocery store, these things are already being implemented in the United States.
Where?
The mayor of Georgia is planning to do it. Florida has done it.
The mayor of
Seattle
Georgia
has done it. But let me.
Excuse me.
No. You're talking over me.
No. The mayor of Georgia.
Yeah, he's planning to do that. He's planning to open.
Excuse me, sir.
Certain stores.
Sir.
But you gonna allow me to talk or not?
A mayor of Georgia. Georgia's a state.
Georgia. He's planning. No, the mayor of Atlanta. Sorry, planning to open grocery stores that they're gonna be run by private companies. So what is gonna happen is,
are they open?
You don't allow me to talk though.
Are they open?
So how you gonna learn?
Answer the question. Are they open?
No, they're not open. But
so
they
we're talking
about
so right now it's just an idea, the same as Mamdani. So you're talking about it's already being done.
Open.
No. You say it's already being done. Where is it actually open and running and successful now?
Okay, so you allow me to talk. I could help you to understand. In Florida, they have stores open that are run by the government.
What are the stores
in
called?
Florida, right now.
What are they called?
As right now.
What are they called?
Right now. Give me. You see, you don't allow me to talk so you could learn and be educated. This has nothing to do with socialism.
What are the stores called in Florida?
Huh? Okay.
What are the stores called in Florida?
Give me 1 second. They have this. This is nothing new. What it's doing is nothing new. It's been done. This has been done in the United States before.
Look, okay. Like, what are the stores? Just give me this. Look. I don't need all this lecture. Just give me the names of the stores in Florida that are open right now. That you say are
okay. Let me. I have it in. Okay. 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 I can't see. I can't see very well, but okay. In Baldwin, Florida. I think that's the town. Baldwin, Florida. In Madison, Wisconsin, those places they already have.
What is the store called?
There's a store they run, the taxpayer funded, that they run by a private company.
What is the store called? What is the name of the store?
Oh, okay, I don't have the name.
¿Qué es su nombre?
But let me. Oh, but you could look it online. But this
I'm asking you. You said it. No. You said it. You said to me.
Okay.
You said there's stores open right now that are already government funded. But you can't name them. You can't name them. All right. Go ahead.
They're open in Baldwin, Florida.
Okay.
They have a grocery store that is run by the city with taxpayer funding and have products that are a little bit cheaper.
What is this? Look. You telling me everything but what I asked you. What is the store called?
Doesn't have the name here, but it's called, well, like I said, Baldwin, Florida.
All right.
That's the location.
So you've not been able to name the store. You failed in that. So move on to your next thing.
No, I did not fail. I just told you the location of the place.
That's not what I asked you. I ain't asked you for that. I ain't asked you for that.
So okay, so let me help you out. Let me help you understand. How that turned that into communism? How 4 stores, because planning to open in the 5 boroughs in New York. How that turned into communism? How's it gonna turn New York into communism?
Because
one store per borough. How that
answer the question?
Communism?
So
how 1 store per borough?
Shut up, sir. Let me answer the question. Now,
how that turned?
All right, I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna just mute you so you can't really talk over me. So when we're talking about communism, this is the policy. When you remove the profit incentive from a store and it's run by the state, that's communism because it's going to operate whether it makes a profit or not. You could just go in there, go in there and steal. And ultimately what's going to happen is the food in the store will begin to dwindle and it's going to go out of business. It can't really sustain itself, or it's going to be a big loss for the city. It's going to be a big loss for whoever is funding it. It doesn't make any sense. You need to have, if you're going to be a grocery store, it needs to be privately owned because it's not going to actually succeed.
Okay. So can I talk now?
Okay, you got about 30 more seconds.
Too close. Okay, 30 seconds. What he said is going to be 5 stores run, the taxpayer funded, run by the private companies. I mean, the private company is going to run the store. It's not going to be the government running. That won't take profit from anyone else because the other stores will be open. It's not like it's taking over the stores. These are new stores, just like I told you about in Florida, in Seattle. It's no new store. So how that turned into communism? Explain to me.
I've already explained it. Have a good night. Shout out to him. So does anybody know what the Baldwin, Florida store is called? Can anybody tell me that? Just somebody help me, please, because he was not able to tell me. I'm asking a very simple question. He was not able to answer it. All right, I was a little bit too late for the trigger on that one. But yeah. Hey, all I want is the name of the store. I thought that was a pretty simple request. 623, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Steven, thanks for taking my call, ABL. What's it called? I just want to say something real quick about this whole Epstein list going on. I hope it doesn't divide the Republican Party the way it seems like it is, because that always happens to us, man. We're always kind of at each other's throats over some minute little argument or whatever, but it doesn't ever really mean anything. Even though this is kind of important, and I get that, but you know, who knows if we're ever going to get answers to it. But yeah, and it always kind of shocks me too, like just how much we go through. Like, think of all that happened with Joe Biden and everything, and the Democrats kind of shoot everything down. The media does it, you know what I mean? And then one slip up, and it's like, you know, it's wild, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'm glad that we're at the beginning of this too, because it's like, imagine if this happened at the end of the presidency, and you know, it can change an election, this kind of issue, you know, and nobody's ever going to release that information if they even have anything. From what it sounds like, it's all just a bunch of hush hush. I mean, I have family who basically went from voting for Trump to being like, I regret everything. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. You think of everything else that's gone on. And this doesn't mean anything necessarily about him. Because, you know, people question his character anyway about, I guess, lesser things. But I don't know. There's video of all these people doing horrible things and saying horrible stuff. And because it's not on the news, you know, people don't really care. Sometimes I get kind of emotional about it, dude, because I get so frustrated with people who like don't care about what the Democrats do, and I'm like, dude, and it's their own standards that they just ignore. Like when Trump grabs a railing, but Biden falls, they're ignoring their own arguments almost. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I had to say. And thank you, ABL, dude. You do an amazing job, dude. All you guys on YouTube or wherever you're at. You know, it's awesome. So thank you, and have a good one, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Fantastic call. So I'm reading some of the comments about the store. You guys say it's closed already? Of course. Of course. Now, if the store is government funded but privately run, that means it's run by the government. Because they're going to have stipulations. They're going to have certain things they do. Like, it's not going to succeed. And if it could succeed, then it will already be done. 310, you don't know who am I speaking to?
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Oh, man, I got to hit my toe with a hammer, man, after Ivan. Oh, man, he's giving us a headache right there. Trying to get his point across. I just needed some relief.
For real.
Oh, man. I tell you, buddy, you're a good one, man. You're a good one. But I love it that you stayed on point and was able to shut him down. You know, like I said, there's no such thing as free stuff. I tell you, the people today, just like the guy with the dually truck, he's looking for free. I mean, come on, 5 kids and one on the way. I raised 5 humans, and they with my hard work and sweat for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is about. If you take on the job of being a parent, of being a husband, of being a man, and being a man of God. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, these people today, they don't want to make the sacrifice. It's all about commitment. And I'm committed to my family, even when they're grown and up in society. There, I'm still committed to them. If not in finances, in wisdom. The things that I went through that I'm able to share with them. These are the things that you give your children. But what's he teaching his children? You know, that it's okay to just sit at home. I want to see them grow. Well, you see them grow when you get home from work. You see them grow when they greet you at the door. You see them grow when you see them doing their homework and you help them with their homework. This is how you see them grow. And you see them grow with the things that you put into them. This is what being a man or being a parent is about. And the thing about it, even as a loving couple, if you're married and everything like that, you two are growing too. You grow with each other. You're growing old, growing fat. You're doing everything. You're growing in this here thing. and even in our country, we're growing in America too. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is that we're trying to show these young people, these young folks, what it takes to be good civil human beings in our country. Stand up for our country, love our country, do love yourself, you know, and the thing about it, love yourself by going to work, you know, being self-controlled, doing these here things would really benefit you, just like the way you do yourself, my brother. You know that you're a prime example of what you could do when you focus. You know, I hear your testimony about, you know, how you started off with printing and everything. You know, you went to school and you saw some things, worked hard, worked in a fast food. These are just a great testimony, and look at where you are today. Man, I wish I had a son like you. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? My son, he has the potential. He has the potential, and the thing about it that I tell him to live to his potential, not settle for his mediocrity. You know, and that's the problem with people today. They just want it easy. When I look at people today, they want it easy. Life's not easy. It's hard. It takes hard work. If you want something, you got to put forth the effort. And this is the thing today, that Mandabi and everything like that want to give away this free stuff in New York and everything like that. People like free. You know, just like that lady. She's looking for a free $100 book card. You know what I'm saying? She could have got free at the library. You know, go ahead and we put our tax dollars in providing that library. Go to the library, get a free card. Benjamin Franklin gave that to him long ago. You know what I'm saying? The library. You know, we got free stuff already, and that's something that we all put into it. You know, but the thing about it that people need to get off this free bit and get out to get to work. Get to work. Get to work. Get to work. That's all. You know, that's all I can say is for people to get to work. America is coming back. Trump is bringing jobs to our country. You know, people need to set themselves up to take advantage of these two jobs. Make your job an AI-proof job, and do it. Just do it. You know, get off the drugs. Be focused. You know, the best drug to be on is love. You know what I'm saying? Love your family, love your country, love your children, love your wife or husband, and not all this other crazy stuff that people are ingesting their minds with. But anyway, my brother, I love you, man. You keep on doing what you do. Everybody in the chat, God bless you guys all. You know, and keep praying for our country and our president and his cabinet. You know, so that's what we need today. God bless you, my brother. You just take care, okay?
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Fantastic call. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. But yeah, get off the drugs. Get off your hind parts. Go to work. Do something. You know, you able-bodied. You can go out there and do it, then do it. 480, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Lori from Arizona.
All
Let me
righty.
turn off my TV. So all I wanted to say is, love your show. I don't always comment. The gentleman that called in regarding his 6 children, I think that was commendable, that a man is taking care of his 6 children. You know, and maybe the wife is working. We don't know that. Yeah, but that's about all I wanted to say.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye, ABL.
All right. I don't know if she was just trolling me or what, but she was sounding so nice. I ain't want to just attack her, but come on. 6 kids at the house. Like, let's be for real. Like, 6 kids? Bro, nah. We not. Hey, I would never have any children, any responsibilities, period, that I signed up for and just, the government got it. That to me is crazy. Look, y'all know me. I came from, you know, what they say, humble beginnings, but we never had no welfare ever. Never no welfare. My mom worked. My dad worked. Everybody worked. Everybody.
That's the point.
You're on
That's
ticket
the
to
line.
213.
Oh, am I next in line to have a nice call chat with
213. Hello.
Yes.
What's going on, boss? You on the line?
Oh, yeah. Am I next in line to talk with the main line?
You're on the line. Turn some off in the background for me, please.
Oh, my name is Rob.
Okay, before you do that, turn your stream off in the background for me, please.
Oh, let me turn it off.
What's going on, boss? You on the line?
Turn it off.
All right, what's going on?
I think California needs a big turnaround. I think California is a piece of crap as it is. The whole point is California has turned into this zombie state, and it's Mexican illegal immigrants. I wasn't a believer of Donald Trump till a lot later. As a bull boy myself, I was like, man, and my own family is a piece of crap too, by the way. There was a whole case on it. Basically my lovebirds were killed by this scumbag called Asha Korean. And I wanted some media coverage on this to get this scumbag in jail and into jail right away for terrorist crimes. As a guy that likes to watch Sonic X, as a guy that likes Sonic X, I'm like Dr. Eggman. But the whole point is I was in Bakersfield, California, and I was there. And I am a victim of so much attacks from Mexican pansies, imbeciles that are there.
All right, man. I don't know what's going on. He might have just been. I don't know, man. I'm good. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry, caller. I'm sorry, but I just detect BS. So I don't know what's going on in that Men in Black Roach voice, or if that's you, I'm sorry. I apologize. If it's your regular voice, if you sound like this, I'm so sorry if that's your regular voice, but I'm just not buying it. All righty. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking. 843, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, this is Tyler. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Man, trying to save you tonight, bro. It's been rough between Ivan and everything. My comments was really geared towards him, but the last couple calls have been keeping it interesting. But one thing back to Ivan, I notice every time you ask for any kind of substantial facts or just anything to bases, he just instantly goes with getting upset, tries to control the narrative, overtalks you. He's rude to you. You're the host of the show. You didn't ask him to call you. What do you think of that sometimes? Or just, I'm sure some of the other callers are like me and just like, how do you deal with not wanting to come through the phone on him and yoke him up?
Well, I mean, it's part of the show. It's okay. People call in, they want to challenge me. I'm up for any kind of challenge. Anybody want to call and act crazy, act stupid, I can act stupid too, so it's fine.
I'm going to say this for the people. It's funny that Ivan, with his accent, how he talks to you like that, a real live American, and I'll just kind of leave it at that, to think that for 1 minute you would really take anything that he says serious, or any of us. But we appreciate what you do for us, Anthony, and the country. You have a good night, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, shout out Tyler, great call. But yeah, anybody want to call and challenge and all that, it's fine. It's all good. It's all part of it. I have no problems. And you know what? I don't want it to be an echo chamber, so it's cool. It's all good. And normally when I get challenged, it don't really be nobody that has anything. Some of the trolls that want to call me are not very good. Some of the challengers are not very good. I want to get a good challenger to call me. That's really something. You know, when I was in LA and I did that particular session recently, it was a debate. I can't talk too much about it, but it was a debate. It wasn't really a good debate. The person was You'll see if it comes out, or hopefully it does come out, but you'll see. 4AO, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. I called earlier, and I got you again. I wasn't trying to troll you regarding the gentleman that has the 6 kids, who he's taking care of his 6 kids. Maybe his wife works. You know, there are families like that.
So you're being serious?
I'm not trying to troll you.
Are you serious for real?
I love your show. I'm not trying to troll you.
So are you being serious, or you were just joking?
I'm being serious. I mean, some families, the father stays at home.
Okay.
The wife works.
But if
the wife stays at home.
Now, what needs to happen, because, okay, now I'm gonna entertain it, okay? So at one point, when I was a little bambino, I was a baby, whatever, my parents were married, and my mom did not work because my dad worked. He didn't just stay home and collect benefits. At the end of the day, and she didn't collect benefits either. So the household was totally supported by my father's income, not from the government at all. We never did any kind of government assistance ever in my whole life. So I don't appreciate this man with this big dually truck that costs $100,000.
Oh yeah.
With 6 kids, not working. And my thing is, if you need the government assistance, why do you have so many children? Why are you bringing more children into the world? Government assistance is not for people who are able-bodied to sit at home and do nothing.
Right. Well, when I grew up, that's how my family was. My father worked, my mother worked, and we never received any assistance. Well, my neighbors, they had a large family. There were 8 children. Father worked. Mother did not work, only very little. And they received a lot of government assistance. And I think it was good that they were able to receive it.
Well, I think that they're being irresponsible if they're on government assistance with 8 kids. At a certain point, it's like, okay, you bring all these kids in the world, you can't really afford them. And it's just not right. And then only in America can you do that. And at a certain point, that system of dependence, of people not working, is going to collapse upon itself.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Right on. So thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye.
Now, normally, y'all know I don't do like repeat calls in the same night, and I was trying to be nice. I'm not trying to, because she's sound like a nice lady, but come on, let's not. 8 kids, and at what number of kids did you produce? Did the green light go off? Did the light bulb go off? Like, you know what? Maybe I can afford this. Just maybe. It's like being at Vegas. You throwing everything on red. You about pretty much don't got no clothes on because you done sold everything to keep betting. At a certain point, when do we stop trying to make it happen with these bets and things of this nature? Like, what's going on? Okay, like what's really happening? That's my, and then it creates a cycle of dependency. People never are able to really go anywhere. You got housing projects. Projects are one of the main examples of this. You got a project building, government assistance. It'll be 3 generations of families in the same project building. Never, ever being able to rise up beyond that. That's how you're able to create a permanent underclass of people. And it's really bad because not only are they underclass, they don't work. So they're just a burden upon the state. That's terrible. All righty. That's pretty much a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you heard tonight, if you enjoyed the show tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you're not on government assistance and you're not 25 years old, able-bodied, get a video a thumbs up. If you don't smoke crack with your food stamp money, get a video. Okay, I'm tripping. But for real, I'll see y'all again on Tuesday on Instagram. If you got Instagram, I will see you Tuesday, 9 p.m. for that stream. But I'm here pretty much all the time putting out pre-recorded content. You can catch me putting out content right here on the regular YouTube channel. Also on my Uncle ABL YouTube channel. I got a few for those. For that channel, I have the Kiss Cam video, Superman review. I got a few things over there that's new. And I got a few more things coming out. Shannon Sharp was able to go ahead and get past that lawsuit. I'm going to talk about that on Uncle ABL. And there's a few more things I'm going to talk about on that channel. I'm going to put a lot more energy into that because I feel like I'm a lot more interested in those kind of topics at the moment. But I still got this channel. We're going to get a lot more here as well. I'll be back live on this channel on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I'm here on Saturdays. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 to 11 Eastern. Also, the Instagram stream on Tuesday is 9 p.m. Eastern time for about an hour and a half, give or take, on that platform. But that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. Y'all know what to do. If you like the video, get a video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Thank y'all for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I could not do this without y'all as well. Please follow me on Rumble for the YouTube content if you want to watch it over there. Also, on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. I'm everywhere. You can check me out. And I think I have one more super chat. And then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Stammy says, how many baby mamas does he have? I guess that was a guy that had like 1,000 kids or whatever. That had the big dually truck. The truck was the craziest part. It's like, okay, bro, you got all these kids and don't work, but you got this big dually truck for what? Like, that is a work truck. Why do you need a dually in front of your actual trailer you got that expensive truck under a carport? It's like, bro, at least get a house with a garage if you're going to have a vehicle like that out in front. I'm saying a carport next to a trailer with that, I could see if you just getting your business started and you got a cheap truck, something like, with a 200,000 miles on it, but that ain't what that is. That's a nice, clean, that is a dually mall cruiser, and you have no job and 6 kids. That right there is disgusting. You are a waste of space. You are a useless eater. You need to get sent to El Salvador. I just hate it. And then people like that are the ones they say that don't want to work. But I do not identify with them, and I know y'all don't either. So I feel kind of offended when they say, oh, he's the same as you, and you guys don't want to work. Hey, I never in my life had a single wide with a carport with a truck that costs more than everything on the lot. The truck costs more than the land that the lot is on. The truck costs more than everything. That's just irresponsible behavior. And that kind of behavior is not sustainable if you want to keep America, America. Because if everybody want to do the same thing, if everybody just want to sit home and just be eating food, getting fat, all this, that, and the third, how can we actually make anything happen? How can we do, how can the country go forward? At that point, it'll all be migrants. It'll all be other people. And then if you are not working, if you become useless, when new people come in, when new people become the leaders, people like you will be the first ones that go ahead and just say, hey, man, go to that camp right there. You see that camp with that barbed wire and the big wall? Yeah, go in there. You could get all the free foods you want. But guess what? You're not going to leave that camp ever. That'd be the actual concentration camp if you're talking about that. But they got over in Florida ain't nothing but a little a brief stay hotel, a 2-day hotel before you get sent back to your home country. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. Automotive Truth Podcast says we're not the same. You're right, ABL. Exactly. We are not the same. If you want to sit on your hind parts and eat food all day with 1,000 kids and don't work, I wouldn't even want to be around you. I don't even want to be in your circumference. I don't want that spirit of that spirit of poverty to leech onto me. I'm good. Keep that over there. But you guys are the best. I will see y'all again on Tuesday live, then Wednesday and Saturday. But every day I'm here putting out pre-recorded content. the shorts. You guys are enjoying the shorts. I appreciate the support on that. But I'm also still going to do the old school, regular, newscaster, films, videos as well. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.